A woman transmigrates into a novel and still gets the short end of the stick. Not only does she have to complete system tasks, bringing the male and female leads together, but she also has to care for the blind male lead. Yet her intended pairing keeps drifting further apart. Over there, the female lead and the second male lead are hitting it off, while here, the male lead looks at her with increasingly unusual eyes, before transmigrating into Flower of the Blind Beast. "How dare you treat me this way?" At these words, the woman's hands tremble uncontrollably, watching the person approaching. Only one thought remains in her mind: escape. Running out the door and seeing the endless sea, she realizes there's no escape. The waves are exceptionally violent. If she jumps, her life will likely be lost. She knows that man won't die. It's his destiny. But she's not so certain about herself. With no way out, she smiles bitterly. If this could free her from fate, perhaps it's not so bad. She falls backward into the sea, her body plummeting rapidly. She prays in her heart, "If only I could reverse my life." As the thought fades, she crashes into the sea with a splash. 6 months flash by, and Luna still hasn't seen the female lead. Anxiety fills her heart. She sits outside Caldina Cafe, murmuring to herself, "When will Karina come?" In her past life, she was one Yoonji, a 27-year-old Korean entering society. Until 6 months ago, she transmigrated into a fantasy romance novel she'd once read, Flower of the Blind Beast. Her master is none other than the male lead, Leon. Leon is the Empire's first knight, invincible in battle, and possesses divine power. He even has the overpowered character trait of Crimson Eyes of Ordell, yet now he's called the Blind Beast. 2 years ago, he was blinded by a deadly poison attack in war and gave up on life. She remembers that in the Grand Duke's backyard, there's a healing herb that blooms once every 10 years and can cure his eyes. The female lead, Karina, heals his eyes, and they fall in love. Her task is to bring the leads together. After transmigrating, she only remembers this much. She only read the beginning and end, and now she's completely lost. She tries hard to recall her role. Just a servant kicked out when the leads show affection, with zero presence. She watches the crowd anxiously. When will Karina finally appear? The herb has been blooming for a week already. This is supposed to be where they first meet. She can't help suspecting something went wrong. She glances at the sky. It's almost time for Leon to return. If she's discovered, it'll be trouble. Should she wait a bit longer? What if Karina shows up any moment? After hesitating for a while, she decides to ask in person. Pushing open the cafe door, she quietly asks the staff if they've seen anyone around her age with silver hair and green eyes recently. The staff member jokes that these details aren't enough to go on. After all, people with blonde hair and purple eyes like her are just as rare. She sighs helplessly. In a fantasy romance world, trying to do this alone really doesn't work. Just then, a customer nearby gasps and points at her, saying she looks exactly like the girl on the wanted poster. The wanted poster reads, Alicia Ute, blonde hair and purple eyes. Capture alive and unharmed. Contact the temple or Haddonshire upon discovery. Reward, 9,990 gold coins. The staff member politely says goodbye, and she instantly feels dejected. She still can't see Karina? There are only about 3 days left before the herb withers. Finding someone is too difficult. Just then, someone suddenly blocks her path and calls out, "Miss, wait a moment!" The man grabs her hand and confirms it really is the woman on the wanted poster. She frantically demands to know who they are and tells them to let go immediately. The man tells her not to panic and says threateningly that he doesn't want to hurt her. She just needs to come to the temple. Anxious and angry, she demands why they're suddenly doing this. The man impatiently scolds her for not cooperating. He even suspects she has something to hide. Just then, the man's shoulder is seized. The next second, the bald man is slammed hard to the ground. The blonde-haired man's expression turns fearful, yet he still stubbornly says they found her first and asks what he wants. Leon reaches out and pulls Luna into his arms, stating calmly, "Treating a lady this way is terribly impolite." The blonde-haired man laughs, loudly, mocking Leon for being blind and threatening him to step aside quickly. The bald man also waves his fists and curses angrily, telling Leon to leave the woman and get lost. His attitude is extremely arrogant. Seeing this, Luna shouts in alarm. Her heart leaps to her throat as she tells Leon to dodge quickly. Leon scoffs that they're worse than a blind man. He subdues them with swift movements. Luna is shocked. Even though he can't see, he can still do this? After dealing with them, Leon turns to her, somewhat displeased. "You stood me up for this?" Luna quickly denies it, pretending not to understand. Leon reminds her they agreed to have tea together after he returned from the palace. Luna apologizes awkwardly, yet she quietly defends herself, saying she didn't stand him up and was about to head back. Leon still insists she broke her promise. Luna feels somewhat helpless. She then complains that Leon is too trusting. Leon asks curiously if this is the cafe she mentioned before. Luna confirms confidently, "It's Caldina Cafe." Seeing this, Leon decides to have tea before leaving. Luna quickly agrees. If things go smoothly, perhaps they'll encounter Karina. She looks at the menu and confirms with Leon whether he wants the same as her. Leon Leon nods and answers briefly. Luna takes the opportunity to make conversation, asking with concern if his trip to the palace went smoothly. She secretly admires him. Even though she sees him every day, he's truly handsome. This is his first time wearing this uniform, and it suits him perfectly. Leon slowly begins. His Majesty summoned me, saying he had important matters to discuss. Unexpectedly, it turned out the king felt he was getting old and urged him to marry. Luna asks in disbelief, even royalty pressures people to marry? Leon nods. His Majesty is concerned about the Grand Duke's heir. She nervously asks who he's supposed to marry, her heart hanging in suspense. Leon says flatly that he doesn't know. It should be a noble lady designated by the emperor. Hearing this, Luna roars, "That's outrageous!" She grumbles inwardly, "Isn't this deviating from the original story?" Learning that the king wants to arrange Leon's marriage, Luna slams the table and stands. "That's outrageous." Leon is somewhat puzzled as to why Luna is reacting so strongly. Luna grows angrier the more she thinks about it. That's spending a lifetime together. Shouldn't hearts connect? She grumbles inwardly. It should be someone like Karina. Leon seems somewhat pleased. "You think so too?" Luna nods. Marrying someone you don't love is too sad, and she must return home. Leon mocks himself, saying no one would accept a blind man as a partner, even if it's a royal marriage decree. Seeing the handsome man wear that expression, Luna interrupts with sympathy, saying he'll definitely find someone wonderful, and she'll help him. Leon smiles and thanks her, yet he sensitively feels unfriendly gazes. It's too hard for a blind man to be like normal people. Luna quickly explains it's because she looks too unusual. Leon is somewhat puzzled at this. She says she has red hair, blue eyes, and dark skin, with very distinctive features. Leon understands. That combination is indeed uncommon. Luna goes along with it. He suddenly asks if he can touch her face. Luna freezes, somewhat confused. Leon fears she'll misunderstand and explains he's just curious about her description. Luna's heart pounds, worried her lie will be exposed. But he's her master, so it's hard to refuse, and he's so curious. Luna finally agrees, lowering her head to signal he can touch. Leon removes his gloves, softly says pardon me, and slowly raises his hand. Luna reaches out gently and guides his hand. Just place your hand here. After his fingertips make contact, Leon softly makes a thoughtful sound. Luna shivers, thinking to herself, so cold. She wonders silently, are his hands always this cold? Leon withdraws his hand and concludes with a smile that her face is truly quite unusual. Upon hearing this, Luna's face instantly flushes, and her heartbeat quickens involuntarily. Leon asks curiously what the atmosphere here is like. Luna waves her hand guiltily. She carefully begins describing, the tables are like those in the Grand Duke's kitchen, just the round parts. She continues, saying each window has white lace curtains, though they're dirty and don't look quite white. The sunlight reflects on the blue awning, especially pretty. After listening, Leon sighs that this is a place with a nice atmosphere. Luna feels guilty for lying so much. After all, this is a commoner's place. She came here only to make the leads meet. She recalls Karina's background. Born in the rural outskirts, parents deceased, later became the adopted daughter of wealthy relatives before coming to the capital. Karina suffers at her debut in high society and wanders casually to Caldina Cafe. Here she'll clash with thugs, and Leon, on his first outing after going blind, will rescue her. They become friends because of this. Karina goes to the Grand Duke's house, discovers the herb, and heals Leon's eyes. Thinking of this, she panics anxiously. Only 2 days left to heal his eyes. Just then, Leon suddenly speaks up, saying he has something to ask Luna. He's curious about the meaning of Luna's name. Luna stutters nervously, saying only that she has no memories, trying to brush it off. It's because back then she was unconscious by the sea and was rescued by an elderly couple. When she groggily woke up, she had no idea where she was. The old woman who saved her sighed in relief, saying her clothes were covered in blood and frightened them. Seeing her dressed like a young lady, they asked if she was all right. Luna quickly thanked them and then asked to borrow a phone. The old woman looked completely bewildered, not understanding what a phone was. Luna then realized this was the novel world, and she must reach the original ending to return home. Helplessly, she could only settle here. She went to an employment agency to find work and saw a flyer for Claremont Ducal House seeking a maid. The agency person reminded her that without identification, this was the only job she could do. The maids had all been scared off by the blind Grand Duke, so they reluctantly accepted her. He urged her to register quickly or go back. Luna quickly agreed, saying her name was Luna. She almost said her modern name, Won Yoon Ji. When she first went to the Grand Duke's house, Leon was living in despair. Leon could hunt by sound alone. Perhaps eyesight wasn't that important, but after the deadly poison blinded him, he couldn't accept losing his reputation as the Empire's strongest knight. He fell into the mire and completely gave up on life. Maids delivering clothes to him would greet him timidly in small voices. All they received were Leon's cold commands. Back then, everyone who saw him fled as if seeing a monster. New maids, not one dared enter his room a second time. Only Luna introduced herself with a smile. "Hello, Master Leon. I'm Luna." She entered his room again and again, never backing down, silently tidying up his messy room. Luna carried in a meal and greeted cheerfully, "I've brought your meal." Well, seeing the soup was very hot, Luna said softly, "Let me cool it for you, just a moment." After cooling it, Luna passed it over, telling him today's soup smelled wonderful. Leon gradually began to feel shy. He wasn't afraid of appearing weak before strangers, but Luna saw him at his worst every day, which bothered him. Luna didn't notice at all, and eagerly asked if it tasted good after he swallowed. Leon quietly affirmed it did. Finally, Leon took his first step out of the mire and began practicing walking. He who once only lay down could now rise and walk slowly. In the 6 months since Luna came, Leon began living a human life again. Returning to the mansion, Luna worries he's tired and caringly goes to prepare dinner. Yet Leon feels secretly disappointed by Luna's respectful demeanor. Hoping Luna would see him as a man is still too much to ask. Luna hesitantly asks if Leon has been to Caldina Cafe before. Leon looks completely puzzled, saying it's his first time hearing of it. He doesn't understand why Luna asks. Luna hastily explains she just heard it's famous. She says guiltily that the butler is about to report and quickly slips away on the excuse of calling him over. Facing Leon's inquiry, Butler Bernard tells him it's a place for lovers' dates. He's curious how Leon knows about such a place. Leon only says coldly that he doesn't need to know. Bernard instantly feels wronged, crying out that Leon doesn't understand him. Leon doesn't engage, telling him to report on work quickly. He immediately becomes serious, starting his report with the letters sent to Grand Duke that month. Yet ripples stir in Leon's heart. Why would Luna mention that kind of dating place? He can't help wondering, does Luna want to go there with him? Thinking of this, Leon's heartbeat quickens. Soon, he mocks himself like a fool. How could Luna like someone like him? Leon falls silent, filled with disappointment and self-denial. During their earlier contact, Luna's breathing showed no sign of disturbance. Only he is like a fool, struggling alone between hope and disappointment. He finally accepts that it's perfectly normal for Luna not to see him, a blind man, as a man. Just then, there's a knock at the door. Dinner has arrived. Leon responds, telling Luna to come in. He asks what's on today's menu. Luna deliberately teases, telling him to guess. Leon sniffs out sausage and spices. Luna smiles and says, that's right. Luna is somewhat distracted while feeding Leon. She didn't see Karina today, and the letters she sent received no reply. She grows more anxious. But if it were her, she wouldn't reply to suspicious letters either. Still, she can't help feeling frustrated. Luna has sighed more than 10 times. Leon asks with concern if she has troubles and offers to help. Luna hastily says it's nothing and apologizes for worrying him. She feels somewhat guilty for being unable to focus on work because of personal matters. Leon doesn't press further, though his mood seems poor as well. Luna hesitantly asks what's wrong. Leon looks at Luna and asks, wasn't that the cafe you wanted to go to? But he feels she didn't seem to like it, always appearing distracted. Luna freezes, silently marveling at his perceptiveness. She explains it's her first time in the capital and she rarely goes out, so she was curious. Leon nods in understanding and asks what the scenery outside is like. Luna marvels that it's worlds apart. The capital's roads are all paved with stone, and the capital's people are all very fashionable. There are especially many beautiful and handsome people. Leon's expression shows some disappointment. Soon, he suggests taking a walk to digest, but Luna worries he'll be tired. Leon smiles and tells her not to worry too much. In the courtyard, Luna gazes at the night sky, saying tonight's moon is big and bright. Suddenly, she's delighted to discover small yellow flowers. Leon recognizes them as moonflowers his mother loved when she was alive. Luna understands and then looks around. She remembers that flower should be nearby. Finally, she finds it. Seeing the flower is still fine, she breathes a sigh of relief. Fortunately, these healing herb flowers haven't withered yet. Luna silently prays in her heart, hoping the flowers can hold on a few more days. Leon is somewhat puzzled seeing Luna stop. Luna makes the excuse that she finds it amazing to see flowers blooming among weeds. Leon feels somewhat guilty, saying it's because of him that she can rarely go out. Luna quickly objects. She excitedly declares herself the master's loyal servant, but Leon says she must be interested in the outside world to sneak out. Luna feels somewhat guilty. The next second she hastily clarifies she's absolutely not tired of serving, just simply curious. If Leon misunderstands, she'll be very troubled. Her tone is urgent. Leon smiles and says he understands, asking if there are other places she wants to visit. Luna feels somewhat embarrassed. Leon smiles, saying his eyes aren't good, so it's up to her to decide. So Luna no longer hesitates, saying she wants to go to Trafield Park. Leon readily agrees, saying he'll take her tomorrow. Luna is both surprised and delighted, quickly confirming Leon won't change his mind. She can't help feeling secretly pleased. That park is near Karina's home. Perhaps tomorrow they'll finally meet. Leon suddenly calls out to Luna, his tone carrying some seriousness. Luna quickly responds, curiously waiting for what Leon will say next. Leon admits, frankly, he's never escorted a lady on a walk as a guard before. Luna is somewhat surprised, not knowing how to respond. He continues, saying saying he worries the park will be crowded and chaotic. Then he asks Luna solemnly if they should practice walking together first. Leon extends his hand, inviting her. Luna is somewhat surprised, asking if Leon means together with her. Leon nods. He doesn't want to stand out in crowded places and hopes to appear natural. Luna hesitates but agrees, gently placing her hand in Leon's palm. Walking along, Luna discovers this is really too difficult. To walk naturally side by side, their leg lengths need to be similar. It seems the rumors about Leon being disconnected from high society are true. Luna studies their posture, realizing to walk naturally, their hands should be positioned differently. She calls out to Leon to wait, then jogs forward and links her arm through his. Leon's body trembles slightly involuntarily, somewhat surprised. Luna explains this is more natural. Leon is taller than her, so his stride is larger. She worries about being too forward and says if he's uncomfortable, they can change back. Leon immediately says this position is actually better. Luna suggests walking once more to match their pace. The two slowly adjust and finally find harmony. Returning to the mansion, Luna looks at the prepared lunchboxes, somewhat surprised by how much there is. The butler says, counting himself and the guards, they need this much. Grand Duke going out 2 days in a row is extremely rare. Yet Leon suddenly appears, saying coldly that this time it's just him and Luna. The butler can't believe it. Leon only instructs that he's entrusting the mansion to him, saying he trusts only him. Bernard protests that he wants to go too, wanting to see His Highness picnicking in the sunlight. Leon interrupts directly, his attitude firm. Seeing this, Luna quickly smooths things over, saying it's more fun with more people. Leon still refuses. He makes people notice he's different. Luna suggests letting others keep their distance. They'll eat the picnic lunch alone, but she's actually worried. She won't be able to meet Karina alone. Leon finally relents and compromises. Trefield Park. The butler promises they'll stay far away. Only then does Leon nod. Luna looks around and sighs. Though it's spring, it's quite hot, and there are so many people. Leon nods in agreement. Luna quickly asks if he wants her to fan him. He shakes his head and declines. Luna waves her fan, remarking it's quite cool under the shade, secretly glad she came. Suddenly there's a buzzing sound, like a bee approaching. Luna looks closely and is terrified, exclaiming how the bee is so huge. If stung by it, people will surely faint. Leon can't see and waves his hand in confusion. Seeing this, Luna's heart leaps to her throat. She grabs the fan tightly and swings it at the bee, telling Leon to dodge quickly. In the chaos, the bee is swatted away, drawing shrieks from nearby ladies. Luna quickly asks if Master Leon is injured anywhere. Before she finishes speaking, her foot slips and she falls forward. The next second, she pins Leon beneath her in an extremely intimate position. Luna quickly apologizes, explaining she accidentally slipped while chasing the bee. Leon has no time to care, nervously asking about Luna's condition. Luna ignores her wildly beating heart, quickly saying she's fine. She scowls and curses that wretched bee, saying she should have dealt with it properly. Luna looks at Leon's face, feeling unbearably awkward, and quickly changes the subject to eating lunch. She doesn't forget to praise how much thought the butler put into preparing the lunch. At Harlington Earl's house, Luna stands at the entrance, preparing to visit Karina. Luna introduces herself as Luna Halaparis and says she wishes to see Karina. The servant politely responds, asking her to wait a moment. She worries she won't get to see anyone, especially coming this late. She keeps complaining inwardly that Leon wants to do everything together and is so clingy. Just then, the butler comes out asking what Luna needs. Luna quickly explains Karina once helped her, and she wants to express gratitude. Hearing this, the butler apologizes, saying Miss Karina isn't at the mansion now. Luna quickly asks where she is then. He pauses before saying Karina isn't home. She's currently at the palace and can't return for now. Meanwhile, Karina sincerely admires the palace's beauty. Xavier seizes the opportunity to flirt, saying nothing compares to Karina. She's somewhat surprised the crown prince would say something so suggestive. She can't help asking if Xavier has said this to other young ladies. Xavier honestly replies he has, but his feelings are different now. Seeing Karina displeased, he quickly soothes her. Back then it was just polite courtesy. Now when he speaks, it's all sincere. Listening to Xavier's sweet words, Karina objects disbelievingly. To placate Karina, he makes an exception, allowing her to call him by name, his tone full of indulgence. Karina feels it's too presumptuous. Xavier raises an eyebrow, asking if she'll defy royal command. Under his urging, Karina softly calls out Xavier. Xavier is delighted, praising how his name sounds especially pleasant from her lips. He lowers his head, leaning close to Karina. He softly agrees that when alone, she can call his name anytime. Karina sweetly accepts. Just then, an attendant suddenly knocks, saying there's an urgent matter. Xavier's expression shifts slightly. After learning the reason, he says he must leave immediately. Hearing this, Karina feels empty inside and responds faintly. Before leaving, Xavier instructs Karina to come to the palace tomorrow as well. Karina responds softly. Hearing your highness, he jokes that if she calls him that again, again, he'll punish her next time. After Xavier leaves with a smile, Karina's heartbeat still hasn't calmed. Karina touches her face. That was her first kiss. The more she thinks, the more confused she becomes, wondering if this is truly destined love. Meanwhile, Luna learns the news, her mind filled only with the words, "I'm screwed." The butler talks enthusiastically about how the Countess is very satisfied, considering her a blessing to the family. Perhaps Karina might even form a marriage alliance with the royal family. Marriage alliance with the royal family. Luna chews on these words, feeling the sky is falling. Karina is actually dating the crown prince. How is this possible? The female lead has deviated from the original story. What should she do now? Without love, can she still heal Leon's eyes? Thinking of facing Leon fills Luna with guilt. Just returning to her quarters, she hears Leon say coldly, "Finally back!" She's startled but forces herself to greet him calmly. She asks, puzzled, why he hasn't rested. Leon asks, "Didn't she say she'd return early?" She quickly makes an excuse, saying she accidentally got lost. Leon asks, confused, why she didn't take a carriage. Luna smiles and explains she didn't want to waste money, reaching out to help Leon to bed. After helping him onto the bed, she asks if there's anything else he needs. Leon says he hopes Luna can read to him. Luna worries, asking if he's still having trouble sleeping lately. She suggests reading from last time's book. Leon nods in agreement. Luna opens the book and reads, "On the barren wilderness, opposing forces gather for the first time, both sides evenly matched." Halfway through, her eyes fight to stay open beyond her control. When mentioning the artillery, she pauses and falls completely silent. Hearing no more sound, Leon softly calls Luna. Feeling her collapse on the bed, he knows Luna has fallen asleep. He can't help thinking staying out so late must have exhausted her. Then he rises, finding a spot beside Luna to lie down closer to her. Listening to her pleasant breathing, his heart fills with tenderness. Memories suddenly surface. Today, the dress shop owner said bringing a man to a dress shop would be mistaken for lovers. At the time, he felt thunderstruck and returned home in a daze. Is it embarrassing to go to that kind of place with him? Thinking this, he reaches out and accidentally touches Luna's arm. He recalls the flutter when touching Luna. Even touching her requires mustering courage. Perhaps to Luna, he's just her blind employer. For the first time, Leon feels truly pitiful. He can't help asking himself, what must he do to be with Luna? Just then, sounds come from outside. Leon composes himself and says, "Come in." Bernard walks in, asking helplessly why he's like this again. Leon calmly asks what brings him. Bernard explains Leon previously said to bring tea if the room light is on late at night. He sets down the tea in his hand and carefully reminds him that a maid staying overnight in the master's room would cause trouble if word got out. He asks Leon if he wants to make Luna his mistress. Leon's tone instantly sharpens. Yet Bernard continues, saying Luna has no background, her status little better than a slave. Leon can bear it no longer and interrupts harshly. He warns Bernard that even though it's him, he won't forgive such words. Seeing this, Bernard quickly apologizes, saying he spoke out of turn. Then he bows and excuses himself, leaving the room quickly. Leon's heart fills with rage. Bernard actually suggested making Luna his mistress. Feeling the warmth in his palm, he laughs bitterly. If it could be resolved that way, it would actually be simpler. In the cold crystal palace, the crown prince's aura is suffocating. The crown prince stares at the two people before him, asking coldly if they're the ones his father mentioned. The attendant beside him quickly nods, not daring to hesitate. The couple sees who it is and hastily kneel, kowtowing and stammering, "Your Highness," their voices full of fear. The crown prince impatiently orders them to raise their heads. He has questions. With that, he presents a portrait to them. Looking closely, the couple's hearts tighten. The girl in the picture resembles Luna greatly. The crown prince states bluntly he heard they've seen this girl. The couple admits tremblingly they did see that girl 6 months ago. The crown prince immediately asks where she is now. The couple frantically waves their hands, saying they truly don't know where she is now. They only rescued her by the lake and let her stay a few days. Later, she said she didn't want to owe favors, so they sent her near Kruger territory. The crown prince persists, asking if they haven't seen her since. The couple nods repeatedly, saying they truly haven't seen her since. The attendant's gaze turns cold, threatening severe punishment if they dare lie. The couple is terrified and quickly swears they'd never dare lie to His Highness. The crown prince goes with the flow and softens his tone, saying, "That's enough, they've been very helpful," and waves them away. The attendant immediately leans in and asks quietly how to deal with that couple. The crown prince raises an eyebrow, asking if he needs to spell it out. His eyes hold murderous intent. Then he coldly utters a few words, "Dispose of them discreetly." The attendant immediately obeys without hesitation. The crown prince murmurs Alicia Ute. His eyes darken as he vows to find her. Ordell, the first emperor of the Constantine Empire and the god who controls the throne. He's the legend who founded the empire's glorious history. After his death, divine prophecy descended, saying he descended to godhood to protect the empire. Having become a god, he left a prophecy. The royal family would give birth to children resembling him through the generations. After that, a child with black hair and crimson eyes like him was born to the royal family. Everyone praised this child as a descendant of the god. Ordel's marks aren't just special hair and eye color, but more extraordinary traits: exceptional physique and supreme swordsmanship, near immortal aging, a body like steel, impervious to any disease or poison. Yet no one could imagine Leon, possessing all this, would end up in such a state. Back then, he was on the battlefield. An arrow flies toward him. Leon instinctively raises his sword to block. The next second, poison gas spreads. Leon quickly covers his mouth and nose, warning the soldiers to beware of the poison, but his eyes suddenly burn with intense pain. His vision blurs instantly, and he loses balance, falling from his horse. Attendants panic and shout "Your Grace," surrounding him to check his condition. Yet before his eyes is only blur, until he can see nothing at all. Initially, Leon firmly believed his eyes would heal quickly. He tried various eye medicines and folk remedies. Even powerful religious figures were summoned, yet none could restore his sight. Leon asks himself in despair what meaning this sightless life has. Countless times he thought death would be better, yet couldn't go through with it, as he fulls of guilt toward Bernard, who stopped his self-harm, and the loyal retainers who worked tirelessly for him. Later, he stopped self-harming but could never return to his former vigor. So rumors spread that the blind beast of the Duke's house wails in darkness every night. Until knocking sounds at the door, Leon struggles to wake from the nightmare. He's drenched in cold sweat, having dreamed of that painful past again. Luna beside him hasn't woken. Though Leon can't see, he still finds this somewhat endearing. Leon softly calls Luna. She opens her eyes groggily, looking completely bewildered, momentarily unsure where she is. Hearing Leon ask if she's awake, Luna suddenly realizes she's in his bedroom and panics. She stutters, asking Leon if he slept well and why he didn't wake her. Leon says flatly her sleeping posture was terrible and he didn't sleep well. He tried waking her, but she slept too deeply. Luna apologizes, face flushed, blaming herself for climbing into the bed of someone with a prospective partner. She hastily tries to escape, but Leon calls her back just as she rises. Luna turns back, asking what he needs. Yet Leon asks what expression she has now. He asks if she's troubled or blushing. Luna complains inwardly she's dying of embarrassment, and he's asking these things. To maintain her previous lie, she randomly says probably chocolate-colored and turns to escape quickly. Leaving only "Call me if you need anything," she flees at lightning speed. Just reaching her room, she's filled with regret. Luna frantically asks herself if she's insane. Why didn't she return to her own room yesterday? Did she forget about propriety between men and women? How could she make such a mistake? Even if Karina's situation exhausted her yesterday, she shouldn't have slept there. Luna suddenly snaps back, realizing there's no time to regret these small matters. If Karina truly falls for the Crown Prince, the original ending will be completely ruined. Luna recalls the original story. The Crown Prince should just be a supporting male character. In the novel's illustrations, anyone could see "I'm a supporting character" written all over his face. According to the original, Karina shouldn't spare the Crown Prince a second glance. Did they meet too early? Is it too late to make the leads meet now? Luna consoles herself. They're the main leads after all. They should overcome this test. But the next second she freezes in shock. The Crown Prince in the original story seems to be the mastermind behind everything. Luna regrets not reading the novel thoroughly. She always felt the Crown Prince seemed villainous, but can't remember why. She resolves it absolutely cannot be the Crown Prince. She firmly believes if the leads just meet, everything will change. Fortunately, the butler gave her free time today. Right now she's sitting in Harlington Earl's house, though she told more lies. But she truly had no choice. Just then, Karina walks in carrying a tray but is stopped by a servant. Karina waves her hand, saying she's used to it and will take care of her guest, shutting the maid outside. Karina apologizes gently for keeping her waiting. Luna waves it off, saying she came suddenly. Karina asks curiously what Luna needs. She's somewhat puzzled when Luna owed her a favor. Luna nods in confirmation. Karina can't remember at all. She thinks if someone wanted to repay a favor, she should remember them. Luna quickly mentions the fortune-telling old woman in the square. Karina is surprised Luna knows about this. Luna says that was her grandmother, feeling somewhat apologetic for casually using characters from the novel. She plays pitiful, saying grandmother had dementia and was often scorned. Speaking more convincingly, Luna's voice even trembles, saying the day before grandmother passed, Karina gave 3 silver coins. Grandmother, grateful for her kindness, decided to tell her some things about the future. Karina will begin a new life. Destined love awaits her, a tall man with black hair. Luna is grateful for Karina's kindness. Karina finally understands Luna's purpose. To show gratitude, Luna wants to read Karina's fortune once more. Though she has one more request, Karina is somewhat surprised, asking what it is. Luna begs her to meet a man, saying it concerns his life. Karina has the power to change someone's life, just as she helped grandmother. Yet Karina looks troubled, saying she already has someone she's discussing marriage with. Hearing discussing marriage, Luna is so shocked she can barely speak. Karina smiles, saying he's just as grandmother described, a handsome man with black hair. Though she wants to agree, marriage isn't isn't just her affair. She might become part of the royal family. Such matters can't be taken lightly. Luna's heart sinks instantly. Karina hastily covers her mouth. This is still a secret. Face flushed, she says she's dating His Highness the Crown Prince. Luna finally believes it. She hesitates, asking Karina if she truly loves the Crown Prince. Karina nods firmly. She loves him with all her heart. Only then does Luna realize this isn't a political marriage. It's Karina's true feelings. She feels conflicted, knowing she can't force Karina. But thinking of Leon, Luna can't help worrying. She composes herself and apologizes for being confused and making unreasonable requests. Before leaving, she still insists on seeing Karina's future. Karina watches Luna leave, wondering which divination to believe when the results differ so much. She had always trusted the old fortune teller's words, which led her to meet the Crown Prince. Back then, he called out to Karina as she was leaving, gently reminding her she'd dropped her handkerchief, their first encounter. The Crown Prince looked at the name on the handkerchief, murmuring softly that something was strange. Karina was puzzled and looked back at him. The Crown Prince returned the handkerchief, saying he couldn't possibly have no memory of such a beautiful lady. Karina instinctively felt this was their destined encounter. Just then, a servant rushes in. Karina asks, puzzled, "What's happening?" The servant exclaims excitedly that His Highness the Crown Prince has come in person. Karina, surprised and delighted, rushes out to greet him. The Crown Prince jokes with a smile that waiting for her is exhausting. Karina feels embarrassed for not being prepared, but he seriously scolds her, saying he'll punish her if she calls him Your Highness again. Karina blinks innocently and asks if he'll really punish her. The next second, he suddenly leans down and kisses Karina. The Crown Prince teases her with a smile, saying this is the kind of punishment he wants to give. Seeing no reaction from Karina, he nervously asks if it's too cliché. Karina recalls the old fortune teller saying their love would bear fruit earlier than blessings, yet remain honorable, because that child will rule the world and ascend the throne. She reminded Karina not to miss her destined life. Only by following your heart can you truly control your destiny. Karina makes up her mind to stay by Xavier's side. Hearing this, the Crown Prince says emotionally that he can't let her go home now. Karina is certain the Crown Prince is her destined one. He doesn't need to send her back. Luna said there would be two men in Karina's life. If things don't go as planned, look around and she'll have everything she wants. Karina holds firm. Even if there are two men, she won't look at anyone else. She clenches her fist. She will never let go of the destiny already in her grasp. Meanwhile, the tailor shop owner tells Leon there's been no customer named Luna recently. Leon urgently asks if there are other clothing stores nearby. Bernard shakes his head. He can't help wondering, is Luna really lying? He thanks the owner and leaves, coldness settling on his features. Bernard follows Leon, asking with some confusion where Luna actually went. Leon's eyes fill with disappointment. That's what he wants to know too. Bernard asks quietly if they should keep looking. Leon says in a dejected tone to go home. Leon's brow furrows deeper. Luna came back very late yesterday. Where exactly is the place she'd lied to go to today? Luna walks out of the ducal mansion slowly, looking lost. She thought meeting Karina would solve everything. Leon is just like in the original story. So why did Karina meet the second male lead Xavier first? Luna can't figure it out no matter how hard she tries. What should she do next? She tries to calm herself down but can't, worrying she might never be able to leave. Luna panics, worried about both the plot and Leon's eyes being beyond saving. The healing herb will wither tomorrow. Without it, will Leon be blind forever? Should she try it herself? But she's completely clueless. She should have asked Karina about the herb. Just then, heavy rain pours down. Luna can't help complaining that nothing goes right. Seeing the rain getting heavier and heavier, and seeing the Duke's mansion isn't far, she decides to just run back. The moment she reaches the entrance, Luna freezes. Leon is standing in the rain. She rushes over with concern. You'll catch a cold standing here without an umbrella. Leon is about to ask where she went, but Luna's sneeze interrupts him. Luna apologizes instinctively. Walking back got her clothes soaked and she's a bit cold. Suppressing her body's shivering, she signals Leon to continue, but Leon remains silent. The next second, he suddenly reaches out to stop Luna and scoops her up. Luna is shocked and flustered, insisting she can walk. She even suspects, could his blindness be fake? Leon only says coldly go take a bath and carries her to the bathroom. Luna frantically tries to stop Leon. This isn't her bathroom. Leon simply says to use it. Watching the door close, she doesn't know what to do. In the end, she chooses to comply. After all, she's really cold. Sinking into the warm bath, Luna finally breathes a sigh of relief. She can't help wondering why Leon seems unhappy. Then she falls into anxiety again. How exactly should she help Leon? Leon depends on her so much that she can't bear to see him blind forever. Luna mocks herself. She was forced to reincarnate, yet she's worrying about things she shouldn't. She can't help sighing that it seems she's really developed feelings for Leon. On the other side, Butler Bernard sees the Grand Duke soaked through and his eyes widen in shock. Bernard is both anxious and angry, asking how he got so drenched. Leon says calmly that some things require waiting. Bernard insists nothing is more important than his health. Leon doesn't explain much, just mentions he's borrowing the bathroom. Bernard freezes. Instantly realizing Leon gave his bathroom to Luna. Without waiting for agreement, he walks straight to Bernard's bathroom. Seeing this, Bernard sighs with a headache. He doesn't understand what the Grand Duke is trying to do. The next morning, Luna returns to work mode, bringing breakfast to Leon, but she's constantly thinking about the herb. It will wither today, so she must find a way no matter what. Seeing Leon's tired appearance, Luna can't help asking if he didn't sleep well. Leon shakes his head, saying he's just a bit bothered. Luna quickly asks if he needs her help. Leon is silent for a moment, saying there's something he wants to ask. She immediately nods, telling him to ask away. Leon looks at her and asks seriously what she thinks of him. Luna freezes, reflexively asking, "You're asking what I think of you?" Leon nods affirmatively. He wants to know her opinion. Luna hesitates and asks if she can be honest. Leon nods eagerly. She immediately starts praising. "Leon is an excellent master," but Leon interrupts. "He only wants the truth." Luna cries inwardly. When the boss asks for honesty, who dares speak plainly? She can only pick safe words. Leon is both handsome and excellent. She's heard excellent people easily give up when facing setbacks, but he's so dedicated. She thinks that's incredibly admirable and worthy of respect. Feeling awkward, she quickly changes the subject. "All right, let's eat breakfast." But Leon doesn't move, saying softly there's one more thing. Luna's heart tightens, but she forces herself to stay calm and asks what it is. Leon's gaze falls on her as he slowly asks, "Where did you go yesterday?" This catches Luna off guard. Luna stammers for a long time, unable to form complete sentences. Finally, she decides to confess partially. She went out to inquire about treatments for eye conditions. Hearing this, Leon freezes for a moment, then can't help but chuckle softly. Leon looks apologetic, saying he shouldn't laugh, but his eyes are incurable. His Majesty made many efforts to treat them, all in vain. Luna says stubbornly that this is exactly why she deliberately hid it. Leon presses Luna. Did she find a treatment? Luna answers quietly that she only found half of it. Leon looks puzzled and asks what she means by that. Luna explains she heard of a very precious herb that can cure any illness when brewed as tea. After thinking for a moment, Leon tells Luna there should be records of previously used herbs. She can ask Bernard for them, but then he dampens her hopes, telling Luna he'll try anything she brings, but she shouldn't expect too much. Hearing this, Luna softly calls out Leon's name and places her hand on his with sympathy. His body trembles slightly. Luna tells Leon firmly that he will definitely regain his sight. She says with certainty that she will make Leon see again. "She will!" The determination in her voice is moving. Leon pulls his hand away, interrupting Luna's passionate words. He thanks her gently for her sincere intentions. Then he urges Luna to eat quickly, saying he'll take her somewhere later. Luna looks confused, asking if he's going out today too. Leon nods, saying he plans to take her to a clothing store. Luna assumes Leon is ordering new clothes. Unexpectedly, Leon says he's making clothes for Luna, since she didn't go to the clothing store. She certainly didn't buy any clothes. Luna quickly declines, saying the job benefits are already good enough. She can't accept more clothes. Leon states directly that he heard she wore her only outfit to the picnic, and using the ducal house reputation as a reason, blocks Luna's refusal. Only then does Luna compromise, saying she didn't consider the ducal house's reputation and agrees to prepare for going out after the meal. His hand holding the spoon pauses, Luna's recent words echoing in his mind. Leon feels somewhat frustrated. It's just a job with good benefits. Leon brings Luna to Le Baleine Boutique. Owner Emily quickly bows respectfully to greet Duke Leon. Leon states directly that he wants to order several outfits for Luna. Luna hastily says one set is enough. She reminds him quietly that this shop is famous for its extremely high prices. Leon reassures her the ducal house clothes must be returned when she leaves. Luna still thinks it's expensive. The owner ignores this, just smiling and asking Luna to follow for style selection and measurements. Leon instructs the owner to order 5 sets per season for Luna. The owner responds enthusiastically, saying they'll start by introducing fabrics to Luna. Luna anxiously tries to stop this, calling out that it's really too much. The owner turns a deaf ear, suggesting she get measured first, then try on spring outfits. Leon asks about the displayed clothes, saying he wants everything that feels good. The owner quickly agrees, respectfully expressing gratitude to Leon. Just then, the door is pushed open. A mocking voice rings out. The person sneers that he's seeing a blind man in this kind of place, speaking without any courtesy. Realizing the newcomer is Xavier, Leon murmurs coldly. Xavier continues mocking Leon, asking how he dares come to this kind of place. A blind man venturing out of his mansion. Leon retorts coldly, saying Xavier is the one with limited knowledge and understanding. Xavier is furious, asking through gritted teeth what he's saying. Hearing the commotion outside, Luna wonders what's happening out there. Seeing things going wrong, Emily quickly reassures her to wait a moment while she goes out to check. Emily walks out and bows to Xavier, respectfully greeting His Highness, the Crown Prince. Xavier asks in displeasure where she went. She quickly explains she was introducing clothes to an earlier customer. Xavier scoffs, saying this scene is truly interesting. He approaches and whispers in Leon's ear, his words full of sarcasm. Can a blind beast like you even tell clothes apart? Xavier hypocritically advises Leon not to force himself and to stay home and rest properly. His tone is full of threat, saying if he wanders around, next time it might not be his eyes that get hurt. then hypocritically saying he worries about his only cousin getting injured. Leon roughly shakes off his hand. He retorts bluntly, telling Xavier to worry about his own behavior instead of others. Xavier's attendant shouts angrily, warning Leon that he dares show disrespect to the crown prince. Leon's entire presence radiates a dark aura, staring at the attendant with hostility. Seeing this display, his body trembles involuntarily. Xavier stops his subordinate, saying Leon is blind and no match for him anyway, then changes the subject saying this is truly surprising. A person with no interest in women coming to a clothing store. He guesses Leon must have someone he's interested in. Leon responds coldly that this has nothing to do with Xavier. Xavier acts hurt, saying Leon's partner would also be family. Luna is anxious and embarrassed, secretly thinking it's not like that. She's lost all mood to try on clothes. Suddenly, Xavier gets a wicked idea, saying he'll verify for his blind cousin. Luna panics. Is he going to pull open the curtain? Xavier smiles cunningly, saying who knows what might happen. Maybe she's a gold digger after the Duke's fortune. The next second, he reaches to grab the curtain. Luna is frantic. She absolutely can't let him pull open the curtain. Hearing this, Leon reaches out and precisely grabs Xavier's hand about to pull the curtain. Stopped by Leon, Xavier instantly panics, his palms sweating. Xavier leans in and asks urgently, his voice trembling, "Your eyes couldn't be—" Leon's tone is icy, sarcastically saying Xavier's movements are so sluggish he can tell everything clearly without eyes. Xavier grits his teeth, grabbing Leon's collar and cursing under his breath. Bystanders whisper, wondering if the two are arguing. Some even recognize Crown Prince Xavier. Xavier's whole body trembles. He can't leave any evidence like this. Suppressing his rage, he releases his grip and drops the line, "That's enough for today!" Then he turns and walks away. Before leaving, he doesn't forget to mock, saying without anyone with an eye for clothes, he still dares buy, telling owner Emily to help him out. Emily tactfully replies that with money there's no problem. Xavier magnanimously says to let her earn as much as she can. Xavier drops the line, "I'll come again next time," and arrogantly pushes the door open to leave. The staff busily bow in farewell, wishing His Highness the Crown Prince safe travels. The carriage slowly moves forward, the atmosphere inside eerily silent. Finally, Luna can't help but quietly curse that Crown Prince brat. Bernard lectures on the surface but can't help praising her for saying it well. Luna gets angrier as she speaks, demanding what's better about that guy compared to Leon, except being born into the right family. Bernard quickly agrees, saying he's far inferior to the Duke, just a palace parasite. Bernard adds that he used to not even dare speak, like an idiot. Luna is both angry and anxious, cursing him for being insane, and so rude to an injured person. Leon's deep voice stops them both, telling them to quiet down. His brow furrows slightly, as he asks what they were just talking about. The two hastily cover up, claiming they were talking about medicinal tea good for the eyes. Leon sees right through them, asking with a smile if they think he's a fool. He advises them not to slander Xavier for his sake. Insulting the royal family is a serious crime, and tells them not to take it to heart. Luna protests, muttering, "How can that make any sense?" She insists that if she'd just finished dressing, she definitely could have beaten the crown prince. Bernard nods in agreement. Seeing this, Luna indignantly accuses the butler of only daring to talk but not actually helping. Suddenly, rain begins falling outside again, raindrops pattering against the carriage window. Seeing this, Bernard volunteers to get an umbrella. Luna is about to follow when Leon speaks up, telling Luna to stay, explaining that since she was in the rain yesterday, he's worried she'll catch a chill. Bernard responds respectfully, "Yes, Your Grace," and turns to get the umbrella. Luna murmurs to herself, remarking that the rain has been especially heavy yesterday and today. The carriage falls silent again, with only the sound of rain dripping. Luna hesitantly speaks up, seeing Leon's poor complexion and asking if he's all right. Leon lets down his guard, resting his head on Luna's shoulder and saying faintly he's fine. He murmurs, wondering if it's because the rain makes things too slippery. Luna doesn't know what he's trying to say, only responding softly, "Yes." Leon is afraid of being pushed away and stubbornly explains he's not leaning on her. "It's just too slippery because of the rain." Suddenly, a tear slides from the corner of Leon's eye. Bernard comes to inform Luna that His Grace needs rest and she should return first. Luna thinks about everything that happened today, unable to believe that was His Highness the Crown Prince. She curses inwardly that the guy seems brain damaged, ridiculously stupid. Such a rude and shameless person is actually the Empire's heir. Luna can't believe the second male lead Crown Prince is such a wastrel. She regrets not pulling down the curtain and beating him up. Her heart aches for the humiliation Leon suffered today, and she secretly vows to help him regain his sight. Luna suddenly realizes something's wrong. She remembers the crucial herb. She hurries out the door to search, cursing herself for being crazy and forgetting the herb completely. She recalls a line from the book, "This flower can help you, but it will wither if rained on. Seeing how long you've persisted, it must be waiting for you." Luna paces anxiously, worried the herb will wither after 2 2 consecutive days of rain. This line clearly appeared in the novel, yet she forgot it completely. Remembering Leon's discomfort in the carriage today, she panics even more. Luna is so anxious, tears come to her eyes, yet she still doesn't know what to do. When she finds the herb, it's already withering. The herb's glow gradually dims. It's already dying. Luna bites her lip and tells herself there's no time to cry. She yanks up the herb, her eyes determined. She must find a way! Arriving at the kitchen, Luna's heart races. There's no time to start a fire now. She looks around. The head chef has already left. There's no one to ask for help. At this hour, the only room with an open flame is Leon's. She doesn't bother knocking and bursts in, apologizing to the shocked Leon while her hands keep moving. Leon calls out Luna's name softly, somewhat surprised. Luna hastily explains she just wants to borrow the fire to brew the herb. Leon is very confused. No time to respond. Luna quickly tosses the herb into the boiling water. She stares at the herb in the pot, her heart anxious. She has no idea how to brew medicinal tea. She should have studied it carefully. The more she thinks, the more she regrets. If she's being this rushed, why did she agonize so much before? Leon's voice interrupts her thoughts, asking her to give him an explanation. Luna looks up and apologizes guiltily for her rude intrusion. She's making the medicinal tea she mentioned before, but it seems she's messed it up. But Leon gently reassures her. He hasn't drunk it yet, so how does she know it's ruined? Luna says dejectedly not to drink it, but Leon's tone is firm. He must drink what she prepared. Luna explains despondently that she didn't even figure out the preparation method. Leon pretends to be serious, asking if she's ignoring her master's request and telling her to pour it for him quickly. Luna's heart instantly melts. Staring at the pitch-black medicinal tea, she grows increasingly uneasy. This clearly won't work. Drinking it will cause problems. The next second, Leon lifts his head and gulps it down. Luna cries out in alarm. She frantically tries to stop him. What if something happens? But Leon says it doesn't matter. He'll drink anything Luna brings him. Luna still wants to persuade him, but Leon says her intentions alone are enough. Luna's eyes redden as she promises to find better medicine. Leon looks at her and chuckles softly, saying he'll look forward to it. Meanwhile, on the other side, a wine glass crashes to the floor with a loud noise. The crown prince clenches his fist, inwardly cursing that Leon dares smile so happily. He's full of resentment. Even he hasn't tasted happiness, yet that guy dares. Xavier loses control of his emotions and growls. He once loved those eyes like the blue sky. The sky is the highest place in this world, perfect for noble him. He doesn't understand what's wrong with that. But for Ordell, this was an unacceptable color. Therefore, he became a defect in everyone's eyes. He's full of grievance. Just because of his non-red eyes, he became the defective crown prince. The people's gossip drove him to collapse even more. He clearly remembers the day Leon Claremont was born with red eyes. His world shook violently once again. The ministers all advised that Lord Leon was more suitable to be the next emperor. They strongly advocated that the emperor should adopt him as a son and grant him the Ordell name. They hoped His Majesty the Emperor would understand their intentions and protect the empire's legend. From the shadows, Xavier snorted disdainfully, deciding the emperor based on an outdated legend. The emperor's child is clearly him. The empress was also full of guilt about this. If only she hadn't given birth to him like this. Those damned eyes, Xavier thought resentfully. Thinking of this, Xavier becomes obsessive. Was blinding his eyes useless? He grits his teeth. He finally kicked him into the mud, and now he wants to crawl out? That blind beast dares. Thinking this, Xavier asks his attendant softly if Leon has woman now. The attendant responds yes. Xavier orders him to investigate the woman by Leon's side. The attendant responds respectfully. The crown prince's eyes are sinister, filled with curiosity. With malice, he wonders that how long can Leon's happiness last. At this moment, Leon suddenly cries out in pain. Blood drips onto the bedsheet, shocking to see. Bernard rushes over upon hearing, urgently asking what happened. Leon groans through the pain. My eyes. Luna is also panic-stricken at the sight. Bernard urgently orders Luna to bring the remaining sedative. Luna is both distressed and panicked. This is the first time she's seen him in such pain. She hastily agrees, but her heart is filled with fear. Could it really be because of that medicinal tea? In the room, Leon sleeps deeply. Bernard softly comforts Luna beside him, saying the Duke should feel better after taking the sedative. Then he calls out to Luna, in a low voice, suggesting they talk. Bernard asks Luna to sit down and asks gently if she was frightened. Luna nods. She was a bit scared. Luna asks Bernard in return. He just shakes his head, calmly saying this situation used to happen frequently. Luna is shocked. She's never seen it before. Bernard explains it was before Luna came to the mansion. Back then, His Grace suffered unbearable pain every time he treated his eyes. The title Blind Beast wasn't born overnight. They've tried every method to cure His Grace's eyes. Each treatment left him screaming in agony. His Grace even hurt his own eyes back then. He looks helpless. By the time Luna arrived, His Grace had already given up on everything. Luna is silent for a moment, filled with self-blame. She recalls Leon telling her there should be organized records of previously used herbs, saying he'd be willing to try any herb he hasn't tried before. Leon clearly knew it would hurt, yet he was willing to drink anything she brought. Luna's heart aches. He trusts her so blindly. Seeing this, Bernard advises Luna not to blame herself too much, then asks what she gave his grace to drink. Luna lowers her head dejectedly, saying she's not very certain herself. Bernard is shocked, unable to believe she gave his grace something unknown as medicine. Luna hastily explains it's definitely medicine he hasn't tried. She just can't remember the name. Hearing this, he's both angry and anxious, demanding how she could give his grace medicine of unknown origin. Luna is filled with guilt but has nothing to say. Bernard, helpless, continues asking where the medicine came from and what the source of information was. Luna looks troubled, saying she can't disclose it, and even if she did, Bernard wouldn't understand. Seeing this, Bernard seriously reminds Luna that not telling the truth will make her more suspicious, although he knows she cares for his grace more earnestly than anyone. The current situation is not in her favor. Luna hastily defends herself. It's absolutely not like that. She truly has no such intentions. Bernard sighs helplessly, relenting that they'll judge after his grace wakes up. Luna lowers her head and says weakly that she understands. Bernard orders that Luna cannot see his grace again until a decision is made. Luna can only respond quietly that she knows. Closing the door, Luna can't help cursing herself. She should have told the butler before making the medicine. Being suspected now is natural. After all, many people want to assassinate Leon. If it always hurts this much, could the preparation method be wrong? And to think it caused that degree of pain. Walking along, Luna habitually ends up at Leon's door again. She's conflicted about whether to apologize, yet afraid of being scolded. His grace suffered because of her. At the very least, she should properly apologize. Luna knocks lightly on the door, feeling somewhat sorry to the butler for breaking her word. Leon's voice comes from inside. Come in. Luna just asks softly from the doorway if he's feeling better. Leon asks, puzzled, why she won't come in. Luna says quietly she's reflecting. Talking from the doorway is fine. He immediately knows this, as Bernard's doing. Luna hastily defends that this is all her fault. She actually came to apologize to him. She didn't know the medicine would cause him such suffering. Leon says gently it's fine. He thought she'd run away, but she stayed, which makes him very happy. Luna asks, confused, why Leon would think she'd run away. Leon's tone is flat, explaining that too many people have run away. Luna's eyes are firm as she seriously promises she won't run away. Leon responds softly that he hopes so too. She also says he will definitely get better. Luna can't help fantasizing that if only she were the protagonist, everything wouldn't be so complicated. But Leon changes the subject, promising that if his eyes recover, he'll make her part of the ducal family. Luna quickly declines. This is what she should do. She's already a retainer of the ducal house. But Leon doesn't mean as a retainer. Before he finishes, he starts coughing. Luna instantly tenses, blaming herself for causing trouble, urging him to rest before hurriedly withdrawing. Leon chuckles helplessly. She really ran fast. Despite such suffering, he can still laugh. This emotion is different from hope, something he never had before. Leon murmurs softly. It seems he depends on Luna more than he imagined. At Harlington Earl's house, a maid approaches Karina cautiously. Karina rises urgently and asks about the matter she entrusted. The maid responds quietly that the crown prince said he's too busy to make time to see her. Karina persists, asking if there were any other messages conveyed. The maid shakes her head, worriedly asking what's wrong with Karina's complexion. But Karina's whole body goes weak and she collapses to the floor. She doesn't understand how Xavier can treat her this way. Since the night they spent together, these past 4 days, he hasn't contacted her. Xavier is clearly avoiding her. Suddenly, she comforts herself, saying not to misunderstand. His Highness must truly be too busy. The maid hurries forward to help her up. Karina's eyes are determined as she tells the maid to prepare a carriage for her. The maid looks puzzled, asking why she suddenly needs a carriage. Karina's tone is resolute. She's going to the palace. Crown Prince Xavier looks at the report and asks coldly if this is everything. The attendant hastily apologizes, explaining the ducal house has few people so they can't send anyone to investigate. And since the Duke doesn't go out, it's really difficult to observe his movements. Xavier is furious. Must I worry about such things myself? The attendant apologizes repeatedly in fear, not daring to look at Xavier's expression. Xavier throws down the report. You call this an investigation? Investigate again. The attendant quickly complies. Suddenly, Xavier notices Luna, a woman without identification. He speculates inwardly, without even civilian documentation. Does she have a dark past? Is she an ex-convict? Prisoner of war or vagrant? Xavier sneers that Leon has terrible taste. He can't help but maliciously speculate. What maid? More like a bed warmer. To seduce Leon, who never touches women. Quite something. He should have seen what she looks like back then. Xavier suddenly changes his mind, telling him to bring Luna here. The attendant freezes, asking incredulously, bring that woman here? Xavier's eyes smile. He wants to see what expression Leon will have when his possession is taken. Knocking sounds from outside the door. The attendant reports softly to His Highness the Crown Prince. The attendant reports that Miss Karina requests an audience with His Highness and is waiting outside. Xavier frowns in confusion. Karina? He can't recall who she is for a moment. The attendant attendant quickly reminds him, Miss Karina Drapane Harlington. He asks impatiently, who is she? I have to see someone like that? Xavier waves his hand, telling him to find a way to refuse. The attendant quickly turns to handle it. He waves dismissively for everyone to leave. Only he remains in the hall. He bends down to pick up the portrait from the floor and examines it carefully. The woman in the portrait has golden hair and purple eyes. Xavier murmurs, and this face, though impossible, it still involuntarily reminds him of someone. The corner of his mouth curves up Luna, truly becoming more and more intriguing. Luna finds the butler and anxiously asks if Leon is all right. The butler's expression is grave as he says his Grace's condition is very unusual. The situation is not good. Luna is shocked. What? Unusual? Her voice trembles. The butler explains that previously the episodes usually stopped after a day or two. This time is different. This time it's been going on for 6 days straight. Never happened before. Luna is filled with self-blame. She really did mess up the medicine. The more she thinks, the more afraid she becomes. What if the pain never stops? She can't help comparing inwardly. If Karina had made the medicine, his eyes would have been cured long ago. Just then, the butler suddenly says His Grace mentioned something he wants to ask of her. Luna freezes, somewhat surprised. Ask of her? The butler explains His Grace wants chocolate from Caldina Cafe. Since he ate it with her, he wants to ask her to buy it. Luna immediately agrees. I'll go buy it right away! Leave it to me! After running 2 steps thinking of something, she runs back. She calls out loudly toward the room, asking Leon to wait a moment. She'll definitely go quickly and return quickly, won't delay at all. Finishing, she turns to the butler, saying she's leaving right now to buy it. The butler grumbles awkwardly that others would think he gave some major order. Seeing her leave, he sighs helplessly. What about His Grace who sent her away because he didn't want her to see his weakness? Luna enters the cafe and tells the staff, hello, I'd like takeout today. 1 chocolate please, thank you. The staff apologizes that there are many orders and asks her to wait a moment. Luna nods understandingly and asks them to hurry. In the corner, a red-haired woman keeps staring at Luna. Luna worries. Leon has barely eaten all week. At least he still wants this chocolate. Last time they were here together, he was perfectly fine. Thinking this, she suddenly panics. If he never recovers, she can't return to her original world? What will she do? At this moment, the staff hands over the chocolate and reminds her to hold it carefully. Luna snaps back to reality, takes the chocolate, and thanks them. She thinks she should hurry back. Leon should still be waiting. After politely saying goodbye, she turns to leave. She secretly hopes Leon's condition has already stopped now. Walking along, Luna reflects that she seems not to have been outside in a long time. Feeling the sunlight, she can't help praising what nice weather it is today. Suddenly, someone grabs Luna from behind. She cries out in surprise and quickly turns to see who it is. The red-haired woman stares at her and says with certainty, I knew it! That's right, it's you! Luna is puzzled and wary, asking what she's talking about and who she is. The red-haired woman excitedly calls her Miss, her voice trembling. Luna can't believe it. What? The red-haired woman gets even more excited and quickly takes off her hat. She introduces herself to Luna as Iris. Luna says fearfully that she doesn't know who she is. Suddenly, her heart sinks. Could she know the original owner of this body? She asks tentatively. Do you know me? Iris says sadly. How can you have forgotten me? Luna is helpless inwardly. Though she doesn't know who this is, she can't push away someone so desperate. She gently suggests Iris let go first before talking. This is uncomfortable. Suddenly someone speaks. Iris, what are you doing there? The two remove their hats, and upon meeting Luna's face with their eyes, both show shocked expressions. They ask incredulously if she's Miss Alicia. Haddonshire, the grand temple sanctuary in the capital, a sacred realm where priests who can hear the divine voice are nurtured. Some say that because the gods exist, they can guide people into Haddonshire through their voices. Only those who can hear the voices of the gods are qualified to become priests of Haddonshire. One cannot enter through personal desire or parental wishes. The only way is through divine guidance. Haddonshire already had a leading candidate for the next high priestess, Alicia Ute, the only daughter of Duke Ute. She was the jewel of Haddonshire. Entering Haddonshire at age 3, she captivated countless believers during prayer services. Her beauty was beyond words, but she wasn't famous for her appearance alone. It was her miraculous empathic power that truly moved people's hearts. Those who came out of curiosity to hear her prayers ended up confessing their sins and becoming devout believers. Luna gasps in disbelief. Could she really be that Alicia? They seem to be following her because they recognize her, but Luna feels they must have mistaken her for someone else. An uneasy feeling growing in her heart. She hurriedly explains that she's not Alicia, that they've definitely got the wrong person. Just as she stands up, someone calls out to her. Luna anxiously explains that she has things to do and really isn't Alicia, but Iris firmly objects, her tone resolute as she insists she could never mistake her. Someone even stakes their divine power on it, their gaze unwavering in their conviction that Luna is Alicia. Luna feels utterly helpless, frowning as she says this isn't about their bets at all. Suddenly she pretends to notice something glowing above their head, wondering if it could be some massive static electricity. Luna rubs her eyes, full of doubt, wondering if she's seeing things. Seeing Luna's confusion, the person gently asks if she truly doesn't remember anything. Witnessing this, Iris clenches her fists, making a silent resolution resolution. Then she speaks with certainty, telling her not to worry. She will definitely help her recover her memories. Luna feels troubled, thinking that Leon is still waiting, wanting to go back today and talk another time. But Iris won't let Luna leave, saying that Lady Alicia's place is right here. Luna grows desperate and can only whisper that she has her own difficulties. At that moment, the door suddenly opens, breaking the standoff. The newcomer's eyes and hair color closely resemble Luna's. Seeing Luna, the woman gasps, "Oh my God!" Luna looks at the woman, her heart pounding. The person looks exactly like her. The next instant, the woman rushes forward and hugs Luna tightly, her movements both urgent and tender. She chokes up, calling Luna sweetie, overcome with emotion at having found her. Then she urgently asks if Luna is feeling unwell, how she's been getting by all this time. She worriedly asks if the memory loss is real. Luna feels somewhat lost. Seeing Luna's silence, her voice trembles as she asks if Luna doesn't remember her mother either. But Luna keeps asking herself, is she really the Alicia they're looking for? She finally relents, asking in disbelief if Luna can't remember anything at all. Luna looks at the woman who resembles her so closely. She has no memories of this body, but she guesses these might truly be her family. If she can't return to her original world, having family is better than being alone. Luna suddenly remembers the chocolate she needs to deliver. If this continues, it will melt, but her longing for family overcomes this guilt. She still wants to confirm her identity first before going back. Luna finally musters the courage to speak, asking if they have any proof that she's Alicia. She adds that she also wants to properly verify and clarify her identity. The scene shifts to Leon, who suddenly breaks into violent coughing, his face pale and ghastly. He struggles to sit up in bed, pressing his forehead in discomfort. Leon endures the intense pain, thinking he's never suffered this much from medicine before. This dose is too strong. He might actually die. Leon forces his weak body to hold up, calling for Bernard to see if he's there. Bernard immediately responds and rushes over, asking with concern if Leon is all right. Leon says weakly that he wants some water. Bernard pours water while saying he's never been in such agony after taking medicine before. But Leon voices his intuition. This medicine causing him unbearable pain might be exactly what they're looking for. Bernard says he hopes that's true. Leon suddenly thinks of Luna. Seeing no response, Leon presses on, asking if Luna still hasn't returned. Bernard hesitates, stammering for a long while without speaking. He finally answers truthfully that Luna still hasn't come back. Hearing this, Leon speculates that Luna might be hiding to pass the time, afraid of hearing his cries of pain. He immediately orders Bernard to send 2 or 3 people to pick up Luna at the cafe, and if she's not there, to search nearby. Bernard responds respectfully. Bernard thoughtfully says he'll tidy up the room. Leon nods. After Bernard leaves, Leon feels a wave of intense loneliness wash over him. Leon looks at the warm bed, thinking it's supposed to be a place to escape troubles and rest. Yet here he is, alone, enduring pain worse than death. It feels contradictory and lonely. Leon whispers Luna's name, longing surging uncontrollably in his heart. Though he fears Luna will blame herself seeing his suffering and keep her distance, he still craves her touch. Leon recalls his former self, who would have regarded others' sympathy as an insult. Now he understands that what he needs most is exactly that understanding and empathy. Leon never imagined he would crave others' care and compassion so much. He silently repeats over and over in his mind, hoping Luna will return to his side soon. Following them into an estate, Luna looks around curiously. Stunned by the luxurious decor, she can't help wondering what this place is. Iris turns back to explain they're going to show Luna proof. Then she walks to a large mirror and gestures for Luna to come over. She holds up the mirror and immediately tells her to undress. Luna instantly becomes alert, asking in confusion why she needs to undress. Iris simply says to remove her clothes for now, only her back needs to be exposed. But Luna firmly insists she explain first. Without waiting for her consent, Iris forcibly pulls off Luna's clothes. Seeing the mark on her back, Luna cries out in surprise, curiously asking if it's a tattoo. Iris immediately denies it, firmly stating it's not a tattoo. Luna falls silent. She has no idea what this is. Seeing this, Iris explains it's a scar, a priest mark, usually located on the back near the heart. Luna curiously asks if this mark appears naturally like a mole. Iris nods, explaining it's a mark etched by the gods that appears automatically after becoming a priest. After learning this, Luna feels both shocked and amazed, finally sensing she's truly inside a novel. She's only been at Leon's estate all this time and had no idea. It's been a year since she transmigrated, and she didn't even know about this mark on her body. Luna can't help worrying if she's acting too surprised. Iris gently asks if what she just said helped Luna remember anything about Alicia. Luna hesitates for a moment, honestly admitting she didn't remember anything, apologizing with some guilt. That mark confirms she's Alicia, but if that's the case, does it mean the original owner is already dead, which is why she could transmigrate? Thinking this, Luna grows more confused. She can't hear the voice of the gods at all. She looks up at Iris, unable to help, asking if priests can hear the voices of the gods. Iris nods affirmatively, stating that if one can't hear the divine voice, they can't enter Haddonshire. Luna doesn't understand, candidly saying that if she's truly Alicia, there's no reason she wouldn't hear the the divine voice? And why would she lose her memory and appear in such a place? Her mother asks in confusion what specific place Luna means by such a place. Luna answers it's Laurel Lake. An elderly couple saved her from nearly drowning. Her mother and Iris are instantly shocked, crying out in horror. How is that possible? They explain that Alicia disappeared while traveling to Grey Rose for her sabbatical year. At the time, due to a sudden attack, the guards and accompanying priests were all brutally killed. Hearing brutally killed, Luna stammers in shock, her mind filled with disbelief. She murmurs to herself, was this part in the novel? This is all news to her. Could this be content from the latter half of the story? Iris says in disbelief that Laurel Lake is a week's carriage ride from where the incident happened, with dangerous canyons in between. Luna calculates the dates. She transmigrated shortly after Alicia's disappearance. Looking at it this way, she really isn't Alicia, is she? Iris passionately objects, telling Luna not to ignore the divine mark. How can she say such things? Luna quickly concedes, saying she understands, but she must go back now. If she's late, everyone will worry. She can feel they truly seem like her family, but she's more worried about Leon and wants to return to the estate first to think things over. Her mother ignores that statement, urgently asking where she's been all this time. They searched the entire empire without finding her, almost thinking she'd been swept away by currents and drowned. Luna feels somewhat embarrassed, saying she's been working as a maid at the Claremont Ducal House. Hearing this, both are shocked again, asking in disbelief, "What did you say?" Luna confirms again that she's been serving His Grace the Duke all this time. Her mother can't hide her heartache, gasping, "Oh God," before tenderly calling out, "My child." Luna explains today she's just running a temporary errand and must hurry back. But her mother disagrees and insists on keeping her, telling Luna her home is right here. Luna doesn't accept this, stating that no matter what they say, she must go back. Before she can finish, she's interrupted by her mother's sudden action. Her attitude is resolute as she grips Luna tightly, warning her she cannot go to the Duke's house. Meanwhile, Bernard thinks of the Duke and can't help sighing. He's deeply worried. If His Grace suffers pain for too long, he might truly go mad. Though His Grace has strong willpower, even Bernard watching feels the agony. How much worse for His Grace himself. Noticing His Grace's cries have stopped, Bernard decides to go check on him. But having failed to find Luna, he's somewhat worried he'll be scolded again. Bernard can't help muttering. They searched all around the cafe without finding Luna. Where on earth did she go? He composes himself, knocks on the door, and says to the room, "Your Grace, I'm here." Upon entering and seeing His Grace, he freezes instantly, his eyes widening. Everything inside the room shocks him, and he stammers as he calls out to His Grace. Leon sits at the foot of the bed, staring at him with an imposing presence. His previously dull eyes have now recovered into the red pupils of Ordell. Bernard stammers in shock, excitedly asking if His Grace can see now. Unable to hide his excitement, he immediately congratulates Leon, his voice trembling. Seeing Leon sway as he stands, somewhat unsteady, Bernard rushes forward to support him, explaining that after a week in bed, his body must be very weak. Leon smiles gratefully, telling Bernard he's worked hard and thanking him for his help during this time. Bernard is so moved he chokes up, saying there's no need to thank him. He only did what he should. Leon stands up, remarking how long it's been since he stood without a cane. Watching Leon able to stand, Bernard exclaims emotionally how wonderful it is. Suddenly, Leon changes the subject, asking in confusion if Luna still hasn't returned. Leon's gaze is full of expectation as he asks again, "Where is Luna?" Inside the temple, people whisper privately, surprised to discuss news that the High Priest has returned. Another person looks puzzled upon hearing this. Isn't the High Priest investigating Alicia's disappearance in Grey Rose? Why would he suddenly return? The person is somewhat surprised they don't know Lady Alicia has returned. Iris introduces the person beside her to Luna, her tone filled with reverence. "This is High Priest Alejandro." Luna hurriedly greets the High Priest, the oppressive aura he radiates making her involuntarily nervous. The High Priest silently appraises Luna, his expression unreadable. Luna immediately grows nervous, wondering if she's done something wrong. The next second, the High Priest suddenly bows his head, solemnly wishing that the blessings of the 5 prime deities and Ordell be with her. Her mother likewise returns the blessing to the High Priest. Seeing Luna's complete lack of response, the High Priest realizes she's even forgotten the greeting ritual and asks about the extent of her memory loss. Luna responds helplessly that she has no memories at all. She can't even remember her name. The High Priest's gaze falls on her hair, asking why it looks like this. Iris hurriedly explains it must have been cut. Luna asks blankly what's wrong with her hair. Iris then realizes she forgot to mention it. She explains that all priests have their hair tips bleached white, symbolizing a pure heart to become a truthful representative of the gods. Alicia's hair had been bleached white according to the rules. wrinkles. It wasn't naturally this way. Luna is very surprised to hear this. She always thought her hair was naturally like this. The high priest looks troubled, asking if she can still hear the divine voice after losing her memory. Luna shakes her head, admitting she cannot. He looks at the scar on Luna's head, muttering to himself, asking if she still remembers the code the gods first revealed. That code was the key credential that qualified Alicia to enter Haddonshire. Seeing Luna shake her head, her mother worriedly asks the high priest how to handle the current situation. The high priest's attitude is decisive, stating that being unable to hear the divine voice or remember the code means she no longer qualifies to serve as a priest. Hearing this, her mother rushes forward to object, arguing that Alicia was meant to become the high priestess. But the high priest responds coldly that even if she once had such qualifications, the gods seem to have withdrawn their favor from her now. Her mother refuses to give up, emphasizing that the scar remains, proving the gods haven't abandoned Alicia. But the high priest says no more, directly announcing his decision that Alicia will be formally expelled from the temple. Hearing this result, her mother is deeply struck, repeatedly saying no, unable to accept reality. In desperation, she falls to her knees, emphasizing that Alicia must remain in Haddonshire, begging the high priest to show mercy. The high priest remains unmoved, coldly stating that expelling Alicia from the temple is the sanctuary's decision. Hearing this, Luna wonders if being a high priest is truly such a glorious profession. She doesn't understand why everyone is so heartbroken. Alicia is only 20. It's just changing careers. Her mother still hasn't given up, making a compromise request. If Alicia recovers her memories, she hopes he can withdraw the expulsion decision. Faced with her mother's request, the high priest remains silent for a long while. After a moment, he apologizes, saying this request must still be decided by the sanctuary. Since it cannot be determined whether Alicia will be able to hear the divine calling again in the future, he cannot give a clear answer. He will only let things take their natural course, waiting until Alicia comprehends the expectations of the 5 prime deities and Ordell. The high priest then orders Alicia and her mother to leave Haddonshire immediately and not linger. Inside the carriage, the atmosphere is incredibly oppressive. Seeing through her mother's heavy mood, Luna doesn't know how to comfort her. Though this matter has nothing to do with her, she inexplicably feels guilty. Perhaps it's like when parents send their child to a good school, but the child insists on dropping out to start a business. That helplessness and regret. Thinking this, Luna gently calls out mother, her voice carrying both guilt and determination. She apologizes to her mother for not being able to remember anything, and comforts her that she will definitely live happily. Luna emphasizes that this is her life after all, and she will work hard to fill in those forgotten times without disappointing her mother. She promises her mother that as long as she's willing to teach her, she'll earnestly learn whatever it is. Her mother chokes up, calling out Alicia, and immediately hugs her daughter tightly. She holds Luna, calling out over and over, "My child, my precious darling," her tone full of heartache. She promises she will find a way to help her and won't let her be abandoned like this. Hearing this, Luna inexplicably feels the urge to cry. Somewhat moved, she reaches out to gently pat her mother's arm in comfort. Caldina Cafe. A staff member makes a mistake and hurriedly apologizes to the customer, her tone full of panic and guilt. She hastily says she'll clean it up immediately, though her eyes can't help darting around. Meeting the eyes of the man before her, she can't control her blush. Leon looks at the flustered staff member and says flatly that it's fine, telling her to leave. He senses the noisy environment of the cafe, completely opposite to the atmosphere Luna described in his memory. Leon surveys the cafe's furnishings, looking at the tables that have been used for ages and appear grimy, and the curtains faded from age. Leon wonders in his heart, is this the scenery Luna once told him about? Thinking this, he laughs bitterly. It seems Luna lied to him back then. A staff member sees Leon enter the shop and immediately approaches with an enthusiastic greeting. Leon tells the staff member he's looking for a customer who came here 3 days ago for chocolate takeout. The staff member explains to Leon that because the shop's chocolates are very popular and a famous gift item, many customers come for takeout, making it difficult to remember each one. Leon quickly emphasizes that the customer he's looking for has a very distinctive appearance and shouldn't be hard to remember. Seeing this, the staff member asks Leon for specific details about the customer's appearance. Leon tries hard to recall the appearance Luna once described to him. She said she had red hair, blue eyes, and darker skin. Her eyes, nose, and mouth all had distinctive features with high recognition. Finally, Leon smiles and describes to the staff member that he's looking for a woman with red hair, blue eyes, and darker skin. The staff member looks apologetic, saying if she looked like that, he should remember, but he really can't recall. Perhaps too many people come and go. Leon says nothing more, thanks him, and hands over money. The staff member can hardly believe it and accepts the money with repeated thanks. He gazes at the empty street, unable to help regretting whether he came too late. When his eyes first recovered, Butler Bernard stopped him, advising him not to rush out impulsively with newly healed eyes. Leon forcefully shakes off the butler's hand, his tone reproachful. It's been days without finding Luna, he must go himself, Bernard pleads desperately. After 2.5 years, he finally regained his sight with such difficulty. After long periods without exposure to to light, going out now will certainly harm his eyes. He begs him to consider his own safety. If Luna knew he injured his eyes searching for her, she would surely be heartbroken. Thinking this, Leon sighs helplessly, lamenting that his butler is too shrewd. But this really has wasted too much time. The next moment, Leon calls out for Cedric, ordering him to take him to find people who specialize in running errands and locating others. Cedric immediately responds respectfully, clearly saying, "Yes, Your Grace." Leon looks at Cedric, who stayed up 2 days straight and rushed here from out of town, and thanks him softly. Cedric quickly waves his hand, saying sincerely that His Grace's vision recovery is what truly deserves celebration. He leads Leon to knock on the door of a residence. The person from the errand guild opens the door after hearing a response and asks Leon what brings him here. Leon doesn't beat around the bush, stating straightforwardly that he's here to find someone. Hearing this, the person doesn't hesitate, directly stating the price within the capital requires 100 gold coins. If searching in other regions, additional fees will be charged. Hearing this, Leon doesn't hesitate much and directly produces 1,000 gold coins. The guild person sees so much money and is too shocked to speak. He suppresses his wild excitement, asking Leon who he's looking for that's worth spending so much money. Leon smoothly recites the information. Luna Haraparis, 27 years old, no identification papers, red hair, blue eyes, and dark skin, height reaching his shoulder. Hearing this, the guild person cautiously confirms, asking if Luna is a runaway wife. He emphasizes their guild won't forcibly bring back people who don't want to return, fearing trouble. Seeing Leon deny this, the guild person breathes a sigh of relief and immediately promises to do his best to find her. Leon nods in thanks, saying, "I'll leave it to you then," and turns to take his leave. Walking onto the street, Leon turns to Cedric and says that besides finding Luna, there's another matter he needs him to handle. Cedric responds respectfully, asking Leon to give his orders. Meanwhile, inside the Crystal Palace, Xavier angrily knocks over things around him. He furiously questions what the guard said, confirming he didn't mishear. Xavier asks the guard in disbelief to confirm, "That woman Luna has disappeared?" The guard nods in panic, stating he sent people to investigate the servants' quarters and she's truly not there. Xavier furrows his brow, wondering if Luna might be staying in Leon's room. The guard quickly waves his hands in denial, saying according to their inquiries, Luna is not the Duke's lover. Xavier is somewhat surprised to hear this. The guard continues, adding that Luna only accompanies the Duke for meals and conversation, not an overnight relationship. After hearing this, Xavier silently doubts how such a thing could be. If she's not a lover, why would Leon buy several expensive outfits for a hired maid? This makes no sense. Xavier recalls the dressing room scene from before. Leon's expression at that time was clearly possessive. He can't help remarking, "Wasn't that reaction basically 'don't touch my woman'?" The more he thinks about it, the more interesting he finds it. Immediately, Xavier issues a stern order. No matter what methods they use, Luna must be found. The guard hastily accepts the order respectfully, fear evident in his tone. Xavier calculates in his mind. Since she's a woman even Leon hasn't touched, he should claim her first. The Ute Ducal house. Jillian wears a gentle smile, greeting Luna good morning. Luna gently returns the greeting to her father. He caringly asks Luna if she slept well last night, his tone full of affection. Luna nods gently and asks Jillian in return if he slept well. Jillian smiles, saying he slept as usual, urging Luna to eat quickly and reminding her the food will get cold. Luna eats while calculating. She's been at the Ute Ducal house for 3 days now. From her observations, the couple's character is upright, which perhaps explains the warm atmosphere. She recalls when she first returned home, her father and the maid both excitedly embraced her, asking how she spent all that time. Renia also exclaimed emotionally how wonderful it was that she was safe. Returning to the present, she jokes with a smile that when she first arrived, everyone's sudden warmth startled her. Jillian looks at Luna, asking again with concern if the food suits her taste. Luna quickly nods in response. But Luna still doesn't quite understand why only the Duchess takes her expulsion from the temple so seriously, while others don't seem to care. Could this just be something noble ladies compare when they meet? When her father and the servants learned about it, they still seemed happy. Luna can't help wondering if Alicia went to the temple because of her mother. Just then, her mother Mariella pushes open the door, saying, "So she's here." She walks to Luna's side, saying she's already hired several tutors. Luna won't have much leisure time. Jillian shows a surprised expression, asking if lessons will start so soon. Mariella says this isn't soon at all. She explains that preparing for her social debut requires urgent time. Etiquette and history all need to be relearned. Luna sighs helplessly in her mind. She didn't expect that after finding her new identity, she'd have to study again. Mariella says no more, urging Luna to prepare to meet the tutors after finishing her meal. Luna responds dejectedly with an okay. She walks dejectedly toward her room, thinking once she found work she wouldn't have to study again, but unexpectedly, just then, a hand pats Luna's back. softly calling out Miss. Luna turns around and finds it's Renia. Renia excitedly tells Luna she's found out what Luna asked her to inquire about. Hearing this, Luna immediately perks up, hurriedly asking what the result is. Renia smiles happily, saying, His Grace the Duke's eyes have finally recovered, her face full of joy. Hearing this, Luna can barely contain her excitement, asking if it's true, and after confirming, can't help exclaiming repeatedly how wonderful it is. Suddenly, Renia changes the subject, mentioning that after the Duke's recovery, he'll return to social and political circles and is now expanding his hiring. Her friend wants to transfer to work at the Duke's house. Suddenly, she realizes something, wondering how Lady Alicia knew about this. Before Luna can answer, she excitedly speculates that the Miss must have received a divine prophecy from the prime deities or has a special task bestowed by the gods, which is why she knew. Luna awkwardly waves her hands, only able to respond vaguely that this matter is somewhat difficult to explain. Renia watches this scene, her eyes full of admiration, even saying her frown is beautiful, begging her to make that expression again. She even exaggerates, saying she made the right choice. Being her maid is so worthwhile. Luna helplessly says she needs to prepare for class and sends Renia away. Renia immediately agrees, and thoughtfully reminds Luna to call her when she's ready. Luna finally breathes a sigh of relief. She can have a moment of quiet. She can't help gazing into space and murmuring, Leon regaining his sight is truly wonderful. She thinks about disappearing without leaving a message, wondering how Leon will view her. Luna silently speculates that perhaps Leon only relied on her because of his blindness. Now he's probably already forgotten. He lacks nothing now, and couldn't possibly come looking for her. She can't help but smile bitterly. How could Leon worry about a maid who saw all his vulnerabilities? But deep in her heart, she still yearns to see Leon with restored sight with her own eyes. Even if just once, she hopes to see Leon radiant and dazzling. Luna shakes her head. She clearly understands this is just her own impractical selfishness. She once thought about trying to contact Leon, but feared he doesn't want to see her at all. If they met, it might remind him of his days of blindness, and she clearly said she wouldn't run away, yet now she's gone. Luna can only console herself. At least Leon doesn't know what she looks like. This way she can pretend Luna never existed and continue living peacefully. Renia knocks on the door to remind her the etiquette tutor has arrived. Luna collects her thoughts and responds that she's coming. She makes a silent resolution in her heart. So be it. Luna never existed in the first place. Even if just to see the ending, she should stay away from the protagonist Leon. Luna takes a deep breath, deciding from this moment on to live as Alicia. Alicia tells Renia to go, and she strides toward the classroom. In the cafe, Karina is restless, not knowing where she can meet Luna. Luna once said they could meet here, so she came specifically to wait. Though she arrived late, she's already waited 3 days without any sign of her. She looks at the dirty cafe with complete disdain, but can only continue waiting here for Luna. The more Karina thinks about it, the more wrong she feels. She's truly pitiful, yet has no other option. She recalls the past, once thinking a happy future was waiting ahead for her. Xavier, that destined man with black hair, yet he betrayed her. She's full of resentment, never expecting even fate would betray her. The capital's nobility values chastity, yet she was deceived by his sweet words. Thinking this, she grows more anxious. The Harlington Earl and his wife are expecting marriage proposals from prestigious families. How can she explain? Karina must admit Luna was right. She truly stands at a crossroads. She recalls again the second man Luna mentioned, yearning to see Luna and get some clues. Noise rises in the cafe. Karina frowns, feeling the shop's standards are too low. She looks disdainfully at the customers and food. If she doesn't see Luna today, she'll have to come again tomorrow. Thinking this, Karina feels both horrified and helpless. Just then, a commoner approaches, smiling and asking if she came alone. Karina responds coldly, saying her friend will be here soon, wanting to send him away. But the man teases Karina, saying she looks like she has no friends. Struck in her sore spot, Karina can bear it no longer and angrily scolds him for not understanding, rejection, telling him to get lost. The man gets angry after being scolded, asking how she can be so rude. Karina arrogantly warns him to recognize her status and obediently leave. This enrages the man, saying he was only being polite because she's pretty. Speaking, the commoner reaches out to grab Karina, his attitude forceful and unwilling to let go. Seeing this, Karina is both anxious and angry, struggling forcefully, telling the man to let go immediately. But he persists, saying Karina insulted him first. She panics instantly and can only cry out loudly for help. Just then, Leon appears, speaking coldly, telling the man to remove his hand. The man asks Leon unhappily who he is to meddle in others' business. Seeing someone helping, Karina immediately appeals to Leon for help, her tone full of urgency. Seeing Leon's appearance clearly, her eyes instantly light up. Leon walks forward coldly, reproaching him for treating a lady so rudely. The man hurriedly defends himself, saying Karina started the trouble. He only wanted to invite her for tea. Leon doesn't back down, emphasizing that if the lady is unwilling, he should leave gracefully. Meeting Leon's red eyes, he says fearfully that he won't argue with them this time. Then he turns and flees awkwardly. Leon turns to Karina, Karina, his tone gentler, asking if she's hurt anywhere. Karina quickly shakes her head, saying no, but her gaze remains fixed on Leon, unwilling to look away. Her heartbeat accelerates. She feels the gears of fate have finally aligned. Her intuition tells her that the destiny Luna spoke of must be this man before her. In the new life about to begin, there's destined, passionate love. Karina feels powerful destiny has quietly arrived. The tall man with black hair is not Xavier. Fate is guiding her to meet him. At this moment, she truly feels she's finally found her place. Seeing him about to speak, she nervously anticipates his words. She fantasizes he'll say gentlemanly that it's a great honor to help her. Then she'll accept his escort, and then begin a romantic love. But reality is that he only says flatly, "Then I'll take my leave," and turns to go. Karina freezes, her heart full of disbelief. How can he just leave like that? She thinks to herself that they clearly reached an understanding through eye contact. Before she can think further, she hurries after him, stammering as she tries to call him back, but his steps don't pause at all. About to disappear into the crowd, she struggles to shout for him to wait, unwilling to miss this chance, but he gives no response. Meanwhile, Alicia gazes at the exquisite garden before her, unable to help sincerely admiring how beautiful it truly is. Renia smiles in affirmation, informing her that this was all personally tended by the Duchess Ute. Alicia is shocked to hear this, wondering that this beautiful garden came from her mother's hands. Renia nods, saying this place is even called a symbol of love, because the Duke spent enormous time creating it especially for the Duchess. Alicia deeply agrees, softly saying the Duke and Duchess's affection is indeed exceptionally deep. Then Renia enthusiastically tells Alicia the music hall is this way. The Duchess spends most of her time here. Just entering the music hall, she sees the Duchess sighing continuously. Alicia watches this scene, her heart full of worry about what's happened. She walks before her mother, gently asking what she needs. Her mother sees her, warmth appearing on her face, greeting her and saying she's been waiting for her. She points to the seat beside her, gesturing for Alicia to sit here. Alicia asks again what's the matter. Alicia can't help speculating if it's still about being expelled from the temple. Her mother hesitates a moment, slowly saying the Empress wants to see her. Hearing Her Majesty the Empress, Alicia can't help being somewhat surprised. Seeing her mother's troubled expression, her heart tightens, hurriedly asking what's wrong. She assures her mother that if she's worried about etiquette lapses, she'll work doubly hard to learn, but in her heart she can't help complaining that the etiquette class she just finished was like torture. She still feels stifled now. She complains grievously that the corset is too tight, regretting not taking it off immediately after class. She doesn't understand why it needs to be so tight when she doesn't have much flesh to begin with. Her mother's face shows a helpless expression, sighing. Can she truly not escape fate's arrangements? Alicia curiously asks what this means. Her mother quickly explains she was just speaking casually and tells her not to take it to heart. Then she takes out the letter sent by the Empress, informing Alicia they'll meet in 5 days. Alicia's eyes widen in shock, unable to believe it's only 5 days. So soon. Her mother speculates the Empress probably heard about her expulsion from Haddonshire. She always liked Alicia before. Alicia looks at the letter, feeling this doesn't seem to require too much worry. She looks at her mother in confusion, asking, isn't this a good thing? Why so worried? Her mother is silent for a long while, finally revealing the truth. The Empress wants her to become the Crown Princess. Alicia is completely dumbfounded, her speech becoming stammered. Crown Princess? She can't believe it would be her. This is too sudden. The Crown Prince is clearly a supporting male character. How could he choose a minor character like her? What about Karina? And the Duchess's reaction is also wrong. Logically, receiving a royal marriage proposal should be cause for joy. Could the position of Crown Princess be lower than a High Priestess candidate? She honestly tells her mother she has many inadequacies and cannot fulfill the role of Crown Princess. Her mother quickly interrupts, saying it's not her problem. It's that she, as a mother, is too incompetent. Alicia feels somewhat at a loss, not understanding what her mother means. She says earnestly that though nobles are unwilling to refuse royal marriages, she doesn't want her daughter to marry into the royal family. After becoming Crown Princess, Alicia will only be trapped in the palace. This might be happiness for some, but could also be misfortune. Her mother looks at her seriously, asking her true thoughts and respecting her choice. Alicia finally realizes she's been wronging the Duchess all along. Her heart fills with delight. The Duchess is such an ideal mother who values her children's happiness. Therefore, Alicia firmly tells her mother she doesn't want to become Crown Princess. She's lost many memories, and there are too many things she needs to relearn and become familiar with. She wants to find what she truly loves. She knows her mother is troubled about her expulsion from the temple, but she promises she can definitely find what she wants to do again. Alicia smiles, asking her mother to trust her. She will definitely make the right choice. Her mother is very comforted after hearing this, thanking Alicia emotionally for being so thoughtful. But her mother immediately frowns again, worrying they can't prepare a suitable gown in 5 days. Alicia is somewhat puzzled, not understanding why a gown is suddenly needed. Her mother explains that visiting the palace to see the Empress can't be done in casual dress, but there's no time to have one custom made in 5 days. Even at the fastest, custom gowns take several several weeks. At this moment, Alicia's eyes light up, exclaiming excitedly. She smiles at her mother, saying she has a good way to solve the gown problem. Leon steps into Le Baleine boutique. He reflects that this place truly isn't suitable for a common maid. No wonder Luna felt uncomfortable. Emily sees Leon arrive and immediately approaches respectfully to greet him. Leon doesn't exchange pleasantries, directly saying he's here to pick up the previously ordered clothes. But Emily informs him the order was cancelled and refunded. Leon freezes instantly, his face darkening as he asks what she means. Emily quickly adds that the refund amount has been converted to gold coins. Leon furrows his brow, stating he never mentioned this. Hearing this, Emily feels somewhat embarrassed, explaining that Luna came to the shop 10 days ago to cancel it. She also said the refund amount was too large and the money could not be taken away until the Duke came to the store. Leon freezes. 10 days ago, Luna was still at the mansion. Did she just happen to stop by? He's not even asking her to accept his feelings. Why would just delivering clothes be so stressful? Sensing the tension, Emily carefully asks if he wants to confirm the amount. But Leon feels a secret anguish. He thought regaining his sight would make everything perfect. Instead, he's left with a maddening emptiness. Is losing Luna the price for regaining his sight? Leon says dejectedly there's no need to confirm. He'll send someone to pick them up later. Emily quickly agrees, watching Leon leave with an uneasy heart. Leon strides away, unable to accept this balance. He doesn't think it's fair. Suddenly, Emily's face turns pale, and she hurriedly asks someone to bring her water. The shop assistant quickly responds and hurries off to get water. Emily feels shaken. She nearly blurted out the entire truth just now. Those red eyes were too intimidating. Is this the power of Ordell that makes people instinctively shrink back? Emily worries she might cause bigger trouble later, but that mother and daughter are truly pitiful. Just a few hours ago, she learned that Luna is actually Alicia, the missing daughter of the Ute family. The Duchess spoke earnestly, saying she wanted to ask a favor. Emily looks confused, asking what exactly she needs help with. Alicia explains she wants to buy all the clothes Leon ordered, and asks her to tell Leon that Luna canceled the order long ago. Hearing this, Emily looks troubled, saying this concerns the shop's credibility. Her mother steps forward, pleading that as a fellow woman she hopes Emily can understand. Alicia has been expelled from Haddonshire. If people find out she once lived at the Duke's house, her situation will become even more difficult. She bows deeply, promising to pay extra compensation. Emily never expected the prestigious Ute family to plead with her like this. Looking at Alicia's tearful eyes, she can't bring herself to refuse. Besides, this way she keeps the profit and leaves a good impression with the Ute family. Emily nods and agrees, but with one condition. The Duchess brightens and quickly asks what condition. Emily says she hopes Alicia will wear a gown from her shop when she gets married. Not expecting something so simple, Alicia quickly nods, saying she can absolutely do that. Emily takes out the receipt and has Alicia fill in her information on the order confirmation. Looking at the document, she's secretly delighted. She worried her self-interested condition would be rejected, but they agreed. As a designer, of course she doesn't want to miss the chance to make a wedding dress for a beauty. Emily begins imagining what style of wedding dress would be perfect for Alicia. At the Empress's palace, the Empress asks with concern why Crown Prince Xavier is so busy. Xavier explains dismissively that he has many things to handle recently. The Empress sounds hurt, saying even when his mother summons him, he's unwilling to come. Xavier doesn't respond to that, directly asking what the Empress wants. The Empress's expression turns serious. She says it's time he took a crown princess. Xavier frowns, saying it's still too early. The Empress's voice becomes stern, reminding him of his duty to continue the bloodline and not to neglect it. She thought he had an interest in the Earl of Harlington's daughter. The Empress teases with a smile, saying she heard Karina once stayed overnight at the Crystal Palace. Karina has wealth but lacks the elegance to be crown princess. Xavier counters that it's better than the old nobility. The new nobles are friendlier to him. The Empress sighs helplessly, saying he still needs to win the hearts of the old nobility. The new nobles' territories aren't even a quarter the size of the old nobility's. Xavier dismisses this, saying once he becomes emperor, there won't be any problem. The Empress sighs again. He only knows half the story. She changes the subject, asking if he knows Miss Alicia Ute. Xavier looks somewhat surprised, asking if she means Alicia, the High Priestess candidate. The Empress nods, saying Alicia has been expelled from Haddonshire and returned to her ducal family. Xavier's face fills with shock. The Empress explains that Alicia was seriously ill, which is why she was reported missing. She even lost her memory. Xavier can't believe she lost her memory. The Empress nods, but says her health is fine now. Xavier's expression becomes unreadable as he murmurs the words lost her memory. To Xavier, Alicia Ute's existence is like light. Even just seeing her at prayer meetings, his heart was completely captivated. But the area where priests live is extremely secluded, making it hard for him to run into her. He could only watch her from afar at prayer meetings. The maids chatted about how Alicia would soon be going to Grey Rose for training. The news came from her brother, who's a priest. Though the details were unclear, it was true. The maid added that Alicia would be gone for several years, and she couldn't help feeling sad at the thought of not seeing her anymore. The maid beside her agreed, saying everyone would surely be sad, since so many people admire her. Xavier suddenly appears, urgently demanding if what they said is true. The maids see Crown Prince Xavier and immediately panic, hurriedly bowing. Xavier presses again, demanding if their information is true. The maid quickly nods, confirming that Alicia will be leaving for Grey Rose soon. Hearing this, Xavier's mind races, a plan beginning to form. He hired assassins who successfully eliminated all the knights and priests, and Alicia was brought before him. Alicia angrily demands that even as Crown Prince, this behavior cannot be forgiven. Xavier smugly orders his men to keep Alicia there. He reminds Alicia to recognize her situation. Even escaping would be useless. He feigns regret, saying he didn't want to do this, but had no choice if he wanted to see her. Staring at Alicia, he shows an obsessed expression, marveling that even her fear is beautiful. Alicia reaches her limit, warning that Haddonshire will never let him get away with this. But Xavier grabs her hair, the symbol of becoming a servant of the gods. He suddenly yanks it and cuts it off with one slash. Xavier laughs maniacally. He's always been bothered by this hair, and he's a descendant of Ordell. He threatens Alicia not to do anything that would anger the gods. As long as she doesn't resist, nothing will happen. After all, it's just the two of them now. But reconsidering, he thinks this approach is too old-fashioned. He tosses the dagger aside and leans in, coaxing that it will all be over soon. Alicia calls Xavier a madman and shoves him away forcefully. Seeing this, he tries to forcibly restrain her, but Alicia dodges. Xavier grows furious with humiliation, saying he was going to be nice to her, and reaches to grab her. Alicia swings fiercely, and blood spurts from Xavier's neck. Xavier is both shocked and enraged, unable to believe she actually struck him. The memory returns. Xavier's heart fills with unwillingness. The person he thought had died falling into the lake is actually alive, and she's lost her memory. He readily says that if the marriage partner is Alicia, he's willing to agree. A few days later, the Emperor sees Leon and can't help exclaiming it's truly a miracle. He complains that Leon should have come to the palace sooner. Leon explains that since his eyes just recovered, he couldn't be exposed to strong light, which delayed his palace visit. The Emperor waves it off, saying he doesn't mind, then asks about Xavier's whereabouts. The Empress quickly explains that the Crown Prince has matters to attend to. But the Emperor is quite displeased, wondering what could be so important. He then welcomes Leon back, saying he's been meaning to commend him for his hard work in the war. Leon humbly says it's all in the past and needn't be dwelled upon. The Emperor generously says that military achievements deserve rewards, and his eye recovery will also be celebrated separately. Hearing this, Leon stops refusing and hopes the Emperor will approve his marriage by imperial decree. The Emperor is instantly astonished. The Empress can't help muttering that he hasn't appeared since returning from the battlefield. How did he suddenly acquire a marriage partner? Leon nods, hoping the Emperor will let him choose freely, regardless of status or position. Hearing this, the Emperor readily agrees. But Leon hopes the Emperor can formalize this promise in writing through an imperial decree. The Emperor nods in agreement, saying he just needs to prepare the paper first. The Empress speculates that the person Leon wants to marry probably has a special status, perhaps a foreign slave or prisoner of war. If such a woman becomes a duchess, it would actually benefit Xavier. She once felt relieved when Leon went blind, but now that he's regained those eyes, this threatens Xavier. So she hurriedly urges the Emperor to write the decree for him quickly. The Emperor complains helplessly that he was enjoying lunch and now suddenly has to write a decree. After the decree is drafted, the Emperor hands it to Leon. Leon knows this is his only chance to secure status for Luna. 7 years of military achievements certainly deserve praise, but if he can marry Luna, this decree is even more precious. Thinking of Luna, he can't help but sigh. Bernard is busy with territorial matters and can't come help. He and Cedric searched every guild but couldn't find a single trace of her. But Luna's identity is unclear, and he worries making it public might endanger her, so he must keep it quiet. He can't help wondering if something went wrong in the process. Just then, Alicia passes by. She instantly tenses. Isn't that Leon? As Alicia brushes past Leon, her heart suddenly clenches. She steals glances at Leon, confirming he's truly regained his sight. She can't help feeling grateful in her heart, though her eyes grow slightly warm. This was the scene she prayed for countless times, yet now her emotions are so complex she wants to cry. She can't help wondering who arranged Leon's neat appearance. Is it the butler, or a new maid, or perhaps himself? After all, he can see now. This is exactly what she hoped for. Yet seeing he no longer needs Luna, loss washes over her. She can't help wondering if she became Alicia because he no longer needs Luna. The novel's world corrects disruptions. Perhaps she was meant to leave him all along. She wonders if she too was guided to the right place. Her mother calls out to the dazed Alicia, asking why she's standing still. Alicia lies that her new shoes are uncomfortable and and she's not used to them yet, hiding her nervousness. She hurries to catch up, though her steps are somewhat panicked. She doesn't notice that behind her, Leon's gaze follows her retreating figure. The Emperor congratulates Alicia. Alicia curtsies in thanks. He gestures for everyone to sit. But the Empress suddenly brings up Alicia's memory loss, her tone full of inquiry. The Empress mentions attending Alicia's blessing ceremonies many times and once waiting long to see her. Alicia can only apologize quietly, admitting she doesn't remember. The Empress sighs, not expecting it to be this severe. Her mother quickly intervenes, explaining that Alicia even forgot etiquette and is relearning it. The Empress realizes why her demeanor isn't what it used to be, but her mother says as long as Alicia is healthy, that's enough. The Empress then asks about preparations for Alicia's social debut. Her mother answers that, though they miss the timing, they expect to hold it within the year. The Empress suggests holding it at next week's palace ball. Her mother looks troubled, thanking the Empress for her concern, but worrying the timing is too rushed. The Empress adds that Miss Karina will also make her debut that day. His Majesty has approved. Having both debut together would be perfectly suitable, she believes. Her mother quickly thanks her, saying she's grateful for the Empress's boundless kindness. His Majesty bids farewell with a smile, saying they'll talk again. Her mother and Alicia curtsy and take their leave. Alicia blames herself for apologizing all day. Her mother gently comforts her, saying anyone would be nervous in such situations. A maid approaches to inform the Duchess that the Empress wishes to speak with her privately. The Empress has prepared a resting place for Alicia in the garden. She can go there first. Alicia strolls through the garden, inwardly marveling that the palace grounds truly are vast. Yet she still thinks the Claremont Ducal Garden is more beautiful. She can't help wondering if it's because she just saw Leon. She keeps thinking of Leon unconsciously. It's driving her crazy. She smiles bitterly. Even if she thinks of him, so what? He no longer needs her. Alicia doesn't watch her step and trips forward, her heart jumping in alarm. A hand suddenly grabs her, steadying her firmly. A familiar voice asks if she's all right, making her heart tremble. Looking at those red eyes before her, she's momentarily lost. She once worried if red eyes would be frightening, but right now, she finds these eyes incredibly beautiful. She nearly blurts out Leon, but hurriedly stops herself and nervously thanks him. Leon responds warmly that it's no trouble, but his hand doesn't let go. Alicia hurriedly says she's fine and asks him to release her, afraid of being seen, but Leon chuckles lightly. They'd probably be envious. Alicia freezes. What? He explains he was just joking, trying to make her laugh. Too bad he didn't succeed. Then he inquires about her name. Alicia clutches her skirt, hesitating before giving her name as Alicia Ute. She feels awkward inside. This is her first time introducing herself and it feels strange. Leon softly repeats her name, his tone probing. Alicia grows nervous, wondering why he's murmuring her name, but he suddenly asks how she knew he's a duke. Alicia hurriedly makes an excuse, saying she heard rumors about his sight being restored. He thoughtfully repeats the word rumors. Alicia's heart tightens. He seems to be catching her in something. The more she thinks, the more panic she gets. Has he already figured it out? Leon stares at Alicia silently. The atmosphere grows extremely quiet. Alicia's heart pounds. She feels awkward beyond measure. Her mother's words echo in her ears. Your ruined reputation is one thing, but you'd also bring shame to the Ute ducal house. No one must know you once worked as a maid at the Duke's house. Even though nothing happened there, rumors don't care about facts. Yet even so, she can't help fantasizing about witnessing Leon regain his sight with her own eyes. Actually seeing Leon, her mind fills with questions. How does he feel? Is he uncomfortable? Has he been eating properly? But if her mother saw them talking, she'd probably turn pale with fright. She's already someone who worries easily. Alicia makes up her mind. It's better to excuse herself and avoid Leon, though it's unfortunate not knowing when they'll meet again. They can't be discovered here. But Leon suddenly says their meeting is fate, and he'd like to invite her for tea. Alicia freezes, unable to believe he wants to have tea with her. She panics completely. She recalls the butler once saying he never had tea with noble ladies. But why would he want to have tea with her when he's never done it before? Seeing her hesitate, Leon asks if there's a problem. Alicia quickly shakes her head, saying no, and gestures for him to walk this way. The attendant just told her it should be this way. Arriving at the place, Alicia finds it somewhat strange. Why are there two cups? Wasn't this prepared for her rest? Could it be for her mother? She shakes her head and unconsciously begins introducing the 3 types of tea on the table. There's dried citrus tea, thick black tea, and candied ginger tea. She realizes with alarm she's acting like before and immediately panics. Leon notices her pause and smiles, telling her to continue. Alicia nervously makes excuses, saying it's because she really likes tea. She picks up a cup and offers it to Leon to taste. Leon points out he didn't say he wanted the dried citrus tea. Why choose this one? Alicia remembers. He dislikes sweetness and the bitterness of oversteeped tea. Only the citrus tea remains. She did this unconsciously because she knows his preferences. Her heart jumps. She's given herself away. She hurriedly adds that it feels like it matches his eye color. Leon softly questions this. Alicia hastily nods. After red comes orange, and it looks beautiful. Hearing this, Leon smiles and teasingly repeats that she finds it beautiful. Alicia wails internally. What is she even saying? She wants to die. Leon suddenly speaks speaks, softly calling her Miss Alicia. He asks if they've met somewhere before. As he finishes, he stares directly at her. Alicia's heart leaps in panic. She then forces herself to stay calm, responding that today is their first meeting. Leon simply says, "So it's the first time." He stands, praising how good the tea is and her skill, saying he looks forward to seeing her again. Alicia rises to bid farewell, relieved her clumsy skills didn't cause trouble. In the shadows, Xavier grits his teeth, enunciating each syllable. Leon Claremont. He burns with rage. He never expected Leon would dare approach his woman. Meanwhile, the Empress sips her tea, confident that she's kept the Duchess occupied for so long. Xavier should be spending quality time with Alicia by now. Young noble ladies all love fateful encounters. By now, Alicia should have accepted him and set aside her prejudices about the Crown Prince. Xavier's character isn't bad, it's just that his handsome looks and few romances led to rumors of womanizing. A handmaid softly calls for Her Majesty. She responds and asks how things went. The handmaid reports that His Highness the Crown Prince didn't go to the garden. The Empress is shocked. Alicia was alone in the garden all that time? The servant stammers that Duke Leon happened to meet the young lady, and they had tea together. Hearing this, the Empress grits her teeth. She mutters, "Leon Claremont." She burns with fury. The palace is supposed to be her territory. That man dares to make moves on her precious flower right in the palace. At birth, he took Xavier's eyes, and now he dares covet Xavier's things. The maid sees the Empress's expression and hurries forward, asking if she's all right. The Empress murmurs to herself. His eyes were closed for so long. Suddenly, her tone turns sinister. It seems that man doesn't respect anything anymore. Leaving the palace, Leon tells Cedric seriously that he has urgent business. Cedric immediately bows to receive his orders. Leon tells Cedric to stop looking for Luna and instead investigate Alicia. He emphasizes this must be done quickly. Cedric bows in acknowledgement, promising to handle it immediately. That night, Leon reviews the gathered intelligence. The intelligence shows Alicia was attacked and lost her memory half a year ago, then banished from Haddonshire. After recovering her health, she appeared 2 weeks ago. This timing matches perfectly with when Luna disappeared. Leon's lips finally curve into a smile. He's finally found Luna. He just never expected to meet her in such an unexpected place. The place of their reunion is actually the palace where he feels uncomfortable. Originally, he didn't want to go to the palace, but now he's glad he did. He thinks self-mockingly that he's the second in line to the throne who shouldn't exist. Only one Ordell is born per generation, and he must become emperor. This is the Constantine Empire's 1,000-year-old rule, and he's the first Ordell from a collateral line in 1,000 years. Simply because his existence might trigger civil war, his relationship with his cousin has gradually become strained. Leon sighs inwardly. This isn't his fault, nor is it Xavier's fault. The fault lies with those blinded by tradition and divine will. They constantly insist only Ordell can become emperor, but no one ever asked him or Xavier their opinion. Growing increasingly uncomfortable in the palace, he could only escape to the battlefield. There, he didn't have to force himself to pay respects to the emperor. This palace visit was only for the decree, though if there were no status difference, perhaps such a decree wouldn't be needed. But thanks to this decree, he found Luna. Perhaps he should treasure it as a family heirloom. Thinking this, Leon calls her a little liar in a soft voice, his tone tinged with affection. His reunion with Luna, he was expressionless as he passed by her, but he heard the Duchess of Ute wondering why she stood still. Alicia's voice explaining about uncomfortable new shoes made him stop. That familiar voice, Leon's heart skips a beat. This is the voice he misses every morning and every night before sleep. Leon softly calls Luna's name, certain he couldn't be mistaken. His gaze burns intensely. He misses her more than anyone, longing to hear her voice. He just doesn't understand why she said she has red hair, telling such a lie. He murmurs the name Alicia Ute. Leon can't help thinking even her name sounds beautiful. Someone knocks. Leon pulls back his thoughts and tells them to enter. Bernard enters, asking when to prepare dinner, mentioning Leon was at the palace quite a while today. He excitedly mentions he just returned and can let Leon try fresh local specialties. But Leon suddenly calls his name. Bernard immediately responds, waiting for instructions. Leon asks directly. He wants to know what Luna looks like. Bernard curiously confirms the Duke is asking about Luna. Then he recalls she has bright amber hair and rare violet eyes. She looks younger than 27. And her smile is pure and lovely. Her looks are outstanding. Many servants had feelings for her in the past. Hearing this, Leon feels some regret. He should have taken Bernard to the guild back then. Then he orders him to fetch Luna's records from when she came to the mansion. Bernard immediately complies. Leon falls into thought again, pondering repeatedly why Luna lied. She has no need to hide her identity. Did she think his eyes would never heal? He quickly dismisses this. Luna cared for him more devotedly than anyone. Most importantly, Luna's medicinal tea cured him. Leon smiles with relief. After marriage, there'll be plenty of time to ask why. Bernard returns with the records and is stunned hearing about marriage. He can't believe Leon is getting married. He urgently demands who Leon is marrying. This is too sudden. Leon only quietly picks up the records and thanks him softly. Ignored, Bernard loses it. He wants to know what happened while he was gone. But Leon tells Bernard to prepare dinner now. Bernard demands why Leon won't answer. Feeling wronged, he can't help help complaining that Leon's behavior is too much. The more Bernard thinks about it, the angrier he gets, raising his voice to accuse Leon again. At the Ute ducal house, Alicia recognizes the person before her and is greatly shocked. It's actually Crown Prince Xavier Ordel Constantine. Xavier mentions that yesterday the Empress wanted him to keep Alicia company, but he was delayed by other matters. He feels sorry for making her wait alone in boredom. Alicia immediately says it's fine and he needn't worry. She understands now. The 2 tea sets on the table must have been prepared by the Empress in advance. Looking at Xavier, she thinks he resembles Leon, but their temperaments are completely different. Xavier suddenly asks about her memory loss. Alicia nods to confirm. Xavier immediately expresses relief and asks if his visit is somewhat sudden. He states frankly that the Empress hopes he can get along well with her. Alicia is puzzled. With her? Xavier nods, explaining that the Empress wants the little fairy of Ute Paradise to become crown princess. Hearing this, Alicia freezes, silently repeating this title. She recalls that in Flower of the Blind Beast, every character, whether protagonist or supporting role, is part of the world. The Duke and Duchess of Ute's genuine love is symbolized by Ute Paradise. Alicia is their beloved daughter, called the Little Fairy of the Paradise, though she never appeared directly in the book. Her name was mentioned twice. In the book, Xavier tells Karina he almost didn't dare give his heart away. Karina asks why. Xavier knows she's also heard that Alicia is a crown princess candidate. Alicia's persistence made him think it was love, but gradually he felt suffocated. Karina immediately feels sorry for Xavier. She never thought the Empire's crown prince, so noble, would hide such deep wounds. So she nods and agrees to his request, which makes Xavier smile with satisfaction. According to the original story, when Karina and others were caught in a love triangle, Alicia should already be dead. The second time her name appears is when Renia says she was murdered. She was seduced by the crown prince, became pregnant after spending several nights together, but the crown prince avoided seeing her. Karina refuses to believe it. She thinks the crown prince has no need to do such things. Renia cries that everything changed after Karina appeared. She counters that Alicia was obsessed with Xavier, saying he's the cruel one. Maybe the crown prince would hurt Karina the same way. Her thoughts return. Alicia wonders why she knows the latter half of the novel. The crown prince's words seem to be a trigger. More content surfaces in her mind, though she never read it. She's deeply confused, wanting to figure out what role Alicia really plays. Xavier asks with concern if she's all right, interrupting her thoughts. Alicia forces composure, saying she's just a bit nervous but wonders inside if he would really kill her. She thinks that though Xavier was domineering at the boutique last time, he doesn't seem like a cruel person. At this moment, someone approaches, introducing herself as Alicia's chaperone, Ozzy. She bows, saying Alicia just recovered and isn't feeling well, needing rest. Xavier expresses understanding. His visit was too sudden. Next time, he'll send a carriage and invite her for a walk in the palace gardens to talk. Alicia hurriedly responds that she's honored. Xavier turns to leave. The next second, Alicia's body goes limp and she collapses to the floor. Ozzy rushes forward, calling out worriedly, asking if she's all right. Alicia tries to respond that she's fine, but faints before finishing. Ozzy grows frantic, calling her name repeatedly. Meanwhile, Xavier hums cheerfully all the way. The carriage driver notices Xavier's good mood and asks curiously. Xavier asks with a smile if he seems to be in a good mood. Then he affirms that many good things happened today. Xavier orders the attendant to depart. The attendant responds and prepares to leave. The carriage departs, but Xavier keeps replaying the moment. On Alicia's face, her expression, and her reaction. He's certain Alicia truly lost her memory. He thought the memory loss was just a rumor, but now he's completely convinced. She's even forgotten everything about that day. Her reaction doesn't seem like acting. She couldn't be so calm toward an enemy. Xavier silently marvels, feeling the gods have given him another chance. Past failures have been erased. He can't help but chuckle. His laughter grows louder. The more Xavier thinks about it, the more amusing he finds it. He resolves inwardly that this time he'll completely tame Alicia. She won't be able to escape or act recklessly anymore. 3 days later, on the day of Alicia's social debut, her mother asks worriedly if Alicia is really all right. She was ill for 3 days after fainting. Her mother tells her to speak up immediately if she feels unwell. Her father echoes that she shouldn't push herself. Health always comes first. Alicia forces composure, smiling and saying she's fine now, but she wonders inside why she's so concerned about Xavier when she just needs to stay away from him. The doctor asks the Duke and Duchess if Alicia saw something terrifying or was frightened. The ducal couple shook their heads, saying she suddenly fainted while having tea. The doctor stated it seemed caused by a great shock and advised her to maintain mental and physical stability for a while. Alicia is also confused how she could faint without being frightened. It's as if her body is silently warning that what she sees isn't the full picture. Karina and Leon have already deviated from the original story. Not only haven't they met, but Karina has grown close to Xavier. Even the eyes Karina was supposed to heal were ultimately healed by herself. Perhaps Alicia's tragic death was just a tool to make Karina choose Leon. Now that the three aren't in a love triangle, perhaps she won't die. She keeps reassuring herself that as long as she avoids Xavier, nothing will happen. Her mother sees all of this. She says with heartache that if she'd known, they wouldn't have come. She feels sorry seeing her pale face and how loosely the gown hangs, urging her again to go home and rest. But Alicia smiles and reassures her that this is an opportunity from the Empress. She doesn't want her mother to be troubled. She's even glad this way Karina can stand out more. After all, she's not the protagonist. Soon the carriage arrives at the palace. Alicia steps out and is stunned by the ball's magnificence. She recalls her hard days as a maid. She marvels that she's now in what feels like another world. The master of ceremonies announces the emperor's arrival. The hall instantly quiets. The emperor takes the main seat and warmly acknowledges everyone. People around whisper to their companions, pointing out the crown prince and gushing about how handsome he is. The emperor smiles, saying the ball is being held because there's something worth celebrating. Celebrating the bright futures about to begin for two young ladies. Everyone surely knows. Noticing Alicia, Xavier smiles at her. The moment their eyes meet, Alicia's heart races. Her palms unconsciously break into a cold sweat. She doesn't understand why she's so nervous and uneasy. Her body trembles uncontrollably. She can only force herself to calm down. The Empress announces the end of the blessing and invites everyone to welcome the two ladies for their first greetings. She first introduces Alicia of the Ute Ducal house, then Karina of the Harlington Earl's house. She adds that both ladies' debuts are somewhat late and asks everyone to be kind to them. After the introductions, the Empress suggests it's time for tonight's first dance. But Karina looks at Xavier with eyes full of resentment. The Empress urgently signals Xavier, now is the perfect opportunity. Just then, someone suddenly speaks up, inviting Alicia for the first dance. The noble ladies around can't help but whisper how handsome he is. The person is Leon. The Empress looks up in surprise, stammering and asking why he's here. Leon can't help but ask if he came to the wrong place. The Empress stutters an explanation that it's not what she meant. Leon explains he came because he received an invitation. He didn't expect it to be so lively. But the Empress persists, emphasizing the first dance should be with Xavier. Before she finishes, Leon extends his hand and takes Alicia's. He softly says to Alicia, "Let's go." Alicia doesn't react for a moment. She wonders to herself, shouldn't he ask for her consent first? But her body moves as if beyond her control, following Leon out. She worries uneasily. Is this really okay? Leon senses her nervousness and gently extends his hand to her. Only then does Alicia realize. Her first dance is actually with Leon. Leon looks at her gently and softly says to begin, but Alicia feels somewhat lost. She nervously confesses this is her first time dancing, and she's afraid of stepping on or kicking him. Leon is clearly stunned hearing this. Then he can't help but laugh. He says gently that it's his honor. On the dance floor, their figures intertwine. Alicia feels the warmth of his palm. She wonders silently, were Leon's hands always this large? His dance steps are exceptionally skillful, always coordinating perfectly when her feet tangle. This synchronicity almost makes her believe her dancing has improved. The music quietly ends. Alicia feels disappointed, but dancing consecutive dances with the same partner violates etiquette. Being able to dance together is already wonderful. She tries to withdraw her hand, but he holds it. Leon says in a low voice that he hasn't danced enough yet. Alicia hastily reminds him this violates etiquette. Leon smiles smugly. He already violated etiquette when he invited her to dance. She nervously says everyone is watching, afraid of causing gossip. Leon's expression turns serious. He asks if she's unwilling. If so, they can stop. Alicia's face flushes red. She instinctively says she's willing, of course. Leon hears the satisfying answer, his eyes full of amusement. The moment their eyes meet, Alicia suddenly remembers the past. Those 6 months living as Luna were all spent in Leon's company. The mansion felt like home to her who had no one to rely on. Leon was the only person who needed her, but after becoming Alicia, she thought having family would bring stability. Yet she was busy understanding the Alicia who wasn't in her memories, trying to imitate her, and ended up less happy than before. Leon notices her distraction and softly asks what she's thinking about. She hesitates, then asks if his eyes can see clearly now. She quickly explains she means nothing by it. She just heard he was ill for a long time. She's concerned whether he still has any discomfort. Leon smiles and says he's completely fine. He complains his butler overreacted, saying light hurt his eyes and summoning every doctor in the capital, trapping him indoors for 3 whole days. Alicia can't help but laugh. Leon asks curiously what's so funny. She explains she finds this amusing, saying Leon seems like someone who always keeps his word. Like now, violating etiquette to dance 2 dances with her. But Leon argues this is different. He didn't listen to his butler. He was threatened. Alicia looks shocked. Leon explains he's searching for a woman. His butler threatened him. If he didn't behave, he'd tell that woman and she'd definitely worry. Alicia's heart aches. She thought everyone had forgotten her. She never expected Leon to still be searching for her. Is she really that important to him? At this moment, the second song ends. Leon suggests that since they've come this far, they might as well cause a scene. Alicia hastily refuses, saying she prefers keeping a low profile. Leon raises an eyebrow, saying she doesn't seem to understand herself. If she truly preferred a low profile, she should have kicked him away when he invited her her for the second dance. Alicia's heart tightens. She senses that holding this hand means there's no going back. Yet even so, she can't bear to let go. Suddenly, Crown Prince Xavier approaches, calling out to Miss Alicia. Alicia panics. Without time to think, she hastily grabs Leon's hand and flees. She begs him to come with her. After hiding, Leon can't help but tease her about her boldness. He thought being a priestess for so long would have made her cautious. Alicia wonders how he knows. Leon smiles and says no one in the capital doesn't know Priestess Alicia. She bitterly corrects him. That's a name that's been expelled from the temple. Then she asks if he's found the woman he's looking for. Leon nods. Almost. Alicia's heart skips a beat. Has he found Luna? Or is the woman he's looking for not Luna? She can't help but ask who makes him search so earnestly. Leon says seriously it's the person he wants to marry. Alicia freezes for a moment upon hearing this. She forces herself to offer congratulations, but her voice trembles uncontrollably. The next second she hastily makes an excuse, saying everyone must be worried after they ran off. They need to go back quickly. Without waiting for Leon's response, she hurriedly says goodbye and runs away. Hiding alone in a corner, Alicia's mind goes blank. What did she just hear? Leon wants to marry her, but they're not in that kind of relationship at all. Could it be he's not looking for her, but for Karina? But Karina already has the crown prince. Then why did he invite her to dance and say he hadn't danced enough? The more she thinks, the more confused she becomes. Her heart pounds like it's about to leap from her chest. Suddenly, someone calls her Luna, making her heart jolt. Karina pushes open the door, saying seriously she wants to talk. She asks firmly, "You must have something to tell her, right?" Karina presses on, asking what Luna has to say to her, then corrects herself to call her Alicia. Alicia apologizes guiltily for deceiving her. Karina asks disappointedly why she lied. She explains she had amnesia. While living as Luna, she suddenly remembered memories about Karina and went to find her. Karina asks if her memories have returned now, the part about Alicia. Alicia shook her head apologetically. Karina studies her, feeling she doesn't seem to be lying. Perhaps that prophecy was divine. She grows excited. Her destined man might be that person. Alicia once said she stood at fate's crossroads. She didn't believe it then, until she met him. It's Grand Duke Leon, who danced with Alicia this morning. He once saved her at the cafe. That's when she realized, this is fate. That's why she's been wanting to see Alicia, to ask if there's a chance to reverse her fate. Karina earnestly pleads. She wants to know if starting over is possible. Alicia suppresses her emotions and comforts Karina not to worry. Fate will eventually return to its proper course. Karina is shocked and delighted, hastily thanking her. She needed to hear this so badly. Alicia forces a smile, saying this is the direction fate guides, returning to the Ute ducal estate. Her mother wants to talk with Alicia, but she deflects, saying she's tired and they can talk tomorrow. Her mother wants to say something more, but Alicia turns and closes the door directly. She instantly loses all strength, sliding down the door to sit on the floor. The tears she's suppressed for so long finally break free. Alicia doesn't understand why she's crying, but her heart just can't stop aching. Isn't it a good thing that those two met? Before seeing Karina, she was still wondering if they'd met. Now it seems Leon is truly looking for Karina. Alicia smiles bitterly. It's the original story after all. What's meant to happen will happen. Will she also fall into Xavier's hands now? When dancing with Leon, she was so happy. Seeing him regain his sight, she felt joy, fulfillment, even her heart fluttered. Being able to keep the beautiful memory of their first dance made her especially thrilled. Even if this might just be Leon deliberately provoking Karina to make her jealous, she once fantasized that Leon might have discovered she's Luna, that he's actually looking for her. Knowing Leon no longer needs her after regaining his sight, she still can't help but fantasize. She hopes he needs her to become her reason for living as Luna. Then she mocks herself. After leaving without saying goodbye, she still dares to have such expectations. The next day, her mother asks about yesterday. Alicia is startled. Alicia apologizes guiltily. She was too nervous yesterday and forgot etiquette. Her mother wants to say more, but is interrupted by a servant. The servant reports that Grand Duke Claremont has come to see the young miss. Alicia is shocked to hear this. Leon sees her and first asks how she's been. Alicia responds coldly that they just saw each other yesterday. What brings him here today? Leon smiles and says he's here for tea. Alicia retorts stiffly that this isn't a tea room. She can't help but grumble. She cried herself sleepless last night, yet he's in such good spirits. Leon explains he has something to give her. He hands something over, hoping Alicia will accept it. Alicia freezes. This is chocolate from Caldina Cafe. When leaving the Grand Duke's mansion, she'd promised Leon she'd buy some for him. Alicia asks sullenly why he's giving this to her. Leon says he thought she'd like it, because a certain woman once said she liked this. Alicia says coldly he should give it to that woman. Now isn't the time to be touched. She needs to make him leave quickly. She doesn't want to see him anymore. So she stands, saying she'll go make tea. Leon quickly says whatever tea she chooses is fine. Hearing this, she glares hard at Leon. She'll brew strong tea with the kind he hates. Just wait for the consequences. Soon, Alicia brings tea to Leon. She introduces it as a very popular, healthy black tea and asks him to try it. Leon stares at the tea before him, stunned. Alicia enthusiastically invites him to taste it. Seeing it's the black tea he dislikes, Leon is taken aback. He asks in confusion why Alicia is angry. Alicia refuses to admit it, asking defiantly who's angry. Leon is certain she's angry. He asks nervously, "Didn't she not dislike dancing yesterday?" Alicia nods in acknowledgement, but that's not the issue at all. Leon grows more confused, urgently asking if he did something wrong. Alicia thinks resentfully that him coming here is the problem. If he wants tea, he should go drink it at Karina's house. After a moment of silence, she suppresses her anger and says she's not feeling well and will take her leave. Before leaving, she flatly reminds him to be safe on his way back. After returning, Alicia sighs inwardly. She really doesn't want to see him right now. She hasn't even sorted out her thoughts yet, and he rashly came over. Suddenly, she sees her mother approaching alone, somewhat puzzled. Alicia approaches and asks her mother what the matter is. Her mother asks with concern if Grand Duke Claremont has left. Alicia nods in confirmation. Her mother hesitates, then asks what His Highness the Grand Duke talked about with her. She shrugs. Just some things about tea. Her mother murmurs, "I see," seemingly still worried. Alicia hastily says she didn't violate etiquette, she just left first. Her mother reassures her that's not what she's worried about, telling her to go rest in her room. Alicia responds obediently. Her mother reminds her they'll see each other at dinner. Yet Alicia is full of confusion. Why would her mother ask this? Afterward, Leon begins frequently visiting the Ute ducal estate. Sometimes he asks Alicia to show him around Ute paradise. Sometimes he has her introduce teas other than black tea. He even specially prepares sweets. Alicia asks Renia in despair, can she really not send a guest away? Renia affirms, and besides, sending away His Highness the Grand Duke would be very difficult. Alicia sighs softly and tells Renia to leave first. Renia respectfully complies. She's full of confusion. Why does Leon keep coming to see her? She desperately needs time to think, but there's simply no opportunity. Leon's eyes are healed, and according to Karina, they've already met. Isn't it enough if the two of them fall in love? Why does he have to make her so flustered and confused? Suddenly, a terrible thought flashes through her mind. Is it now? The moment she's about to die at Xavier's hands? But thinking carefully, Alicia finds it strange. Alicia is a priestess, and priestesses cannot marry. How did she become the Crown Prince's fiancé in the original story, even having a child? There are too many incomprehensible parts, but one thing is certain. If she gets involved with Xavier now and follows the original story toward death, she'll be like glue connecting the male and female leads. A sense of helplessness rises in her heart. Will it end up that way after all? Soon she denies it. As long as they fall in love and she sees the original ending, she can return. That's her original purpose. Before then, she just needs to avoid becoming a victim of the love quadrangle. She's not sure if dying in this novel would let her return, so she's determined to see the ending and think from a reader's perspective. She doesn't need to feel disappointed about Leon. Her primary mission is to see the original story's ending. The next day, Renia tells Alicia a guest has arrived. Hearing this, Alicia instinctively thinks it's Leon, but Renia denies it, saying it's not. Alicia is somewhat surprised. Renia quickly explains it's a very beautiful young lady. It's Miss Karina from the Harlington Earl's house. Alicia greets her politely and invites her to sit and talk. After she sits, Alicia takes the lead in asking what brings Karina here. Karina hesitates for a moment, as if finding it difficult to speak. She's heard that Grand Duke Claremont has been coming to the ducal estate every day recently. She wants to ask if Alicia can help her become closer to His Highness, the Grand Duke. Alicia freezes upon hearing this, wondering inwardly, could Leon also be coming here to ask her to matchmake them? This would indeed make sense. After all, Leon has never been in love. Seeing Alicia's silence, Karina grows uneasy. Is this request too much? Alicia quickly waves her hand, saying she's happy to help. Karina is instantly overjoyed. She almost thought she'd be refused. On the day of her social debut, she kept saying Alicia was lying, afraid she might feel hurt. Alicia quickly says it's fine. Her amnesia was what caused Karina trouble. Karina immediately suggests letting bygones be bygones. Alicia readily agrees. The two exchange names, and the atmosphere becomes less stiff. Looking at Karina before her, Alicia marvels, is this the female lead's charm? The atmosphere improved in an instant. Even as a woman herself, she finds Karina both beautiful and kind. The more Alicia thinks, the more relieved she feels. The timing is perfect now. She's taken too many detours lately. She must properly matchmake Karina and Leon to achieve the original story's ending. Before leaving, Karina entrusts everything to Alicia. She nods and reminds her to be careful on her way. She secretly rejoices. Once the two meet, everything will happen naturally. The death plot is just there to advance the story. Her mother suddenly calls out to Alicia. Alicia feels somewhat oppressed and asks what the matter is. Her mother urgently asks why Karina came to see her. There should be no reason. Her mother's tone is full of panic, persistently asking what they talked about. Looking at her mother's anxious eyes, Alicia feels helpless. A few days ago, Duchess Ute asks Ozzy about the Grand Duke and Alicia's situation, worried about their relationship's progress. Ozzy reports that the Grand Duke is already infatuated with Alicia, and she even wants to give them space together. Grand Duke Claremont is the Empire's best groom candidate, and Alicia doesn't look at him with disgust either. Yet Duchess Ute firmly objects, absolutely not. She mutters continuously to herself, absolutely not. Ozzy tries to console her, guessing she's worried because Alicia was a priestess, but the Duchess says agitatedly that Alicia is still young. When she invited her here, she said Alicia hasn't recovered yet. Marriage is too early now. Ozzy acknowledges but still advises the Duchess to think carefully and not make a decision she'll regret. She reminds her that Alicia hasn't received any marriage proposals since her social debut, then takes her leave. The Duchess ponders alone, worried the Grand Duke truly has feelings for her daughter. She thought avoiding that man would be enough. Suppressing her panic, she comforts herself that it's not too late. There must be another way. The next morning, Alicia acts somewhat unusual. After enthusiastically greeting the Grand Duke, she informs him she wants to introduce someone. Karina greets him nervously, even stuttering a bit. Alicia introduces her as the young lady of the Harlington Earl's house, Karina. The Grand Duke responds coldly. Alicia then introduces the Grand Duke's identity to Karina. After she speaks, the atmosphere becomes somewhat awkward. Karina only dares to steal glances at Leon. Watching them, Alicia feels they're a perfect match. She should let them be alone. At this moment, Maid Renia suddenly calls for Alicia. She immediately says loudly that her mother is looking for her. Then, acting helpless, she tells the two to chat well. She herself hurries away. Alicia thanks Renia. Everything seems natural, but Renia is somewhat worried. She asks bluntly if Alicia has feelings for the Grand Duke. Alicia is both anxious and flustered, hastily denying it, afraid someone might hear. Renia wants to persuade her further, but Alicia insists it's not like that. She believes the two seem destined for each other, which is why she's helping. Karina is more suited to the Grand Duke than she is. Meanwhile, on Karina's side, the air seems frozen. She takes the initiative to speak, saying she asked Alicia to arrange this meeting to thank the Grand Duke. Leon frowns in confusion. He has no recollection at all. Karina reminds the Grand Duke it was at Caldina Cafe. Only then does he remember. He helped because he was thinking of Luna, so he responds coldly that such a small matter doesn't require thanks. Karina still insists she received help and invites him to dine together as thanks. But Leon directly refuses, saying he appreciates the thought. Although he's long known Luna doesn't see him as a man, he's fully expressed his feelings. Seeing him stand, Karina urgently asks where he's going. Leon makes an excuse that his mother needs him and turns to leave. Karina is utterly confused, not understanding why this is so sudden. She remains where she is, somewhat at a loss. At night, someone mentions that Mariella is late. The other reminds her that Robin and Esso are waiting at the main gate, telling her to be careful with her wig. Mariella thanks them and walks inside. Reaching the entrance, Mariella bows in greeting. May the prime deities be with them. The guard asks warily where she's returning from and why she's late. Mariella produces gold coins, explaining she attended a funeral, which is why she's late. The gate of Haddonshire opens. Mariella walks in carefully. She apologizes softly to Robin and Esso for being late. They inform her that High Priest Alejandro is attending an all-night prayer vigil. He won't come out for about 3 hours, and she must leave within 1 hour. Mariella nods in understanding. The three proceed forward until they reach the temple's innermost depths. On the altar before them, a book glows in the center. The next second, the pages flip, prompting Mariella to speak the passcode. She slowly speaks, saying she knows the truth about this place. This is the world within a book called Flower of the Blind Beast. Mariella recites the passcode. This is the world within a book called Flower of the Blind Beast. As she finishes, the book slowly opens. Someone softly reminds her to hurry. Mariella responds softly that she understands. She must find a way to save her daughter. A carriage is ready for her at the entrance. It will go directly to the Ute ducal estate. Before leaving, Mariella stops to give thanks, but Robin and Esso wave their hands, saying guiltily they couldn't help her gain anything. Mariella softly comforts them, confessing everything is the sin she must bear. After speaking, she turns and boards the carriage, which hurries away. At this moment, a figure in black watches the distance and murmurs, "Even with all her efforts, it will be futile in the end." Xavier slowly approaches, praising how beautiful Alicia looks even when afraid. He threatens her, saying as long as she doesn't resist, nothing will happen. After all, right now it's just the two of them here. A cold gleam flashes. Xavier demands how she dares to be so audacious. She runs and runs until she reaches the deck with nowhere else to go. She knows deeply that she can no longer escape. Xavier won't die. This is his fate. but her own fate is unknown. In desperation, she jumps into the sea. She wishes in her heart that if she can escape this wretched fate, she'll change things in her next life. Alicia jolts awake from the nightmare, gasping for breath. She comforts herself it was just a dream, yet her heart still races with lingering fear. That suffocating feeling makes her deeply uncomfortable, as if she experienced it herself. She can't help but wonder, could this not be a dream but the original Alicia's memory? Did the original soul really make such a choice? Why did she find fate wretched? Renia knocks on the door asking if she may enter. Alicia softly grants permission. After entering, she says guests arrived early. Alicia is somewhat puzzled. She says somewhat awkwardly that 3 guests all want to see the young miss. Alicia has a bad premonition. Sure enough, the visitors include Leon, Karina, and Xavier. He remarks that the Ducal Estates tea is delicious. He'll come again next time. Alicia wants to say he's not allowed, but still politely says it's an honor. Xavier strikes up conversation, saying he came to chat with Alicia but didn't expect to see the Grand Duke. Leon can't be bothered and coldly tells him to drink his tea. Alicia is instantly speechless. She wants both of them to leave. Dealing with Leon and Karina alone is exhausting enough. Why does Xavier have to come too? Is it really okay to have her current romantic interest meet her ex? She has no idea what to do. She's already flustered from the nightmare. She has no energy to deal with all 3 at once. She just wants to faint and be done with it. Renia immediately runs over calling her. Alicia instantly says loudly her mother is looking for her. She must excuse herself temporarily. After speaking, she hastily turns and flees. After leaving, she thanks Renia. Renia obediently responds, saying to call her if needed. Alicia's steps are heavy. The path back to her room feels endless. Perhaps from lack of sleep, even walking back to her room feels like an eternity. Today is truly much more exhausting than usual. Leon suddenly appears, exposing that she's walking so slowly there's clearly no urgent matter. Alicia is startled, asking why he's here. Leon calmly says his mother also has business. Knowing her lie is exposed, she awkwardly asks if he's angry. Leon asks why she thinks he's angry. Alicia stammers that she just lied. She probes by asking again. Leon stubbornly doesn't speak. She panics a bit. Is he really angry? Alicia tries to change the subject, praising Miss Karina as beautiful and virtuous. He mentioned before he's looking for someone to marry. She assumes it's Karina. She's creating opportunities because she thought he'd be happy. But Leon clearly calls out the name Luna. Luna is the woman he's been searching for all along. He hopes she understands his meaning. Let's stop here for today. Hearing this answer, Alicia's heart instantly pounds wildly. She can't believe it, repeating inwardly, His Highness means the person he wants to marry is herself. Karina is utterly confused. His Highness the Grand Duke wants to marry Miss Alicia? Why does Alicia pretend not to be Luna? She murmurs to herself. Then, what am I? Xavier suddenly speaks up, demanding, Alicia is Luna? Karina turns around frantically, not knowing when he appeared behind her. But Xavier's gaze is cold, pressing closer and demanding. Karina hastily says she doesn't know and tries to leave, but he grabs her, emphasizing that even if he abandons her, she cannot get close to Leon. If she wanted to attract his attention, she's halfway succeeded. He orders Karina to wait obediently. He'll summon her to the palace another day. Xavier turns and orders his attendant to depart, and there's one more thing to prepare. The attendant hastily asks for instructions. Xavier tells him to find a cage for an animal. He emphasizes the cage doesn't need to be too large. Let the animal roam freely most of the time, but don't make it too ugly. The attendant is puzzled, asking if he wants a pet, but Xavier's eyes darken, saying he's going hunting. Someone is coveting what's his and must be dealt with. Duchess Ute looks at the invitation and screams absolutely not. The Duke hastily tries to calm her. Alicia rushes over upon hearing, wondering what happened so early in the morning. Renia explains that since receiving the Crown Prince's invitation, the Duchess has been crying as if she saw something terrible. Hearing this, Alicia is very confused. Will going to the palace make things unfold according to the original story? Will she die? But just an invitation shouldn't cause such distress. It's as if her mother knows what this means, and she's always asking about her conversations with the protagonists. There's definitely something hidden. The next day, Leon looks at Alicia's complexion and asks with concern if she's unwell. Alicia wearily tells him to go home early. She doesn't understand why he comes every day. Leon asks lightly if she really doesn't know, but Alicia suddenly asks if he believes in fate. Leon teases with a smile. Is this a test? She explains she's just curious. Fate is predetermined. What's meant to happen will happen. Leon nods, saying after hearing her words he's more certain. He's certain his fate is to meet her. Alicia is speechless. Can such words be said so casually? But Leon admits he only says this to someone he likes. Her face instantly turns bright red. She thought things were progressing well between Leon and Karina. Leon sees her distress and mentions she hasn't received any marriage proposals since her social debut. Alicia looks completely surprised. He casually says he happened to find out. Alicia retorts it's only him. He must be quite pleased. But Leon asks if she wants to receive one. If so, he'll bring it tomorrow. Alicia nods. Receiving one doesn't mean immediate marriage anyway. But Leon says he has one condition. Alicia freezes winces upon hearing this. He adds that he hopes she can regard him sincerely, as he does her. He's not asking her to like him as he likes her. He only wants sincerity. Even just a little is enough. After speaking, he stands and gently kisses Alicia's forehead. Leon gently explains, when it comes to kissing, he hopes she'll initiate. He looks at her reddened face and asks if she understands now why he comes every day. Alicia's heart trembles. Even without saying it, she clearly feels it. Leon has known all along that she's Luna. The unease in her heart seems completely soothed. At night, thinking about the day, she feels bashful. It was just a kiss. Why is she so excited? Suddenly she remembers. Leon already has his destined other half, and if she gets too entangled with Leon, she won't be able to return to her original world, but she can't help thinking, maybe not returning is okay too. At this moment, her mother's voice suddenly comes, asking if she may enter. Alicia hastily responds. After her mother enters, Alicia asks if she has something to say. She hesitates a moment, then asks what the Grand Duke said to her earlier. Alicia is somewhat embarrassed, saying the Grand Duke wants to send her a marriage proposal letter, and he often comes to see her. Lady Ozzy also says he's a good marriage candidate, but her mother suddenly says urgently it absolutely cannot be him. Alicia's heart tightens. She asks as if understanding. Is it because he's the male lead? Hearing this, her mother instantly panics, stammering to ask if she's recovered her memories. Seeing this, she's certain. Her mother also transmigrated to this world, hasn't she? Alicia affirms that her mother also transmigrated to this world. Her mother is shocked. What does also mean? Alicia states plainly she's also a transmigrator. She tells her mother not to deny it. Otherwise, there's no explaining why she's curious about the protagonist's conversations and won't let her be with Leon. Her original name is Won Yoonji. She transmigrated here, but she doesn't know where the original soul went. Her mother finds it hard to accept. Alicia being called Won Yoonji is simply unthinkable. She states she doesn't want to continue living as Alicia, but won't die according to the original story either. She cannot truly become her daughter. She states that although she won't marry Leon immediately, she still needs to inform her first. After a moment of silence, her mother says she understands, but the original story won't change. At least not in this world. Her mother warns her, if she marries Leon and rewrites the original story, she might be consumed by the black flame. This world has a corrective force that makes the story follow the original. While it won't affect the protagonists, supporting characters are another matter. Alicia is shocked and afraid, unable to believe these words. Her mother emphasizes, she cannot watch her daughter die this way. She transmigrated here long ago, before her daughter was born. After witnessing the ending, she lived as Mariella, then met Jillian and had a daughter. Her daughter's name was supposed to be Jera, not the tragically fated Alicia, but the high priest issued a divine prophecy. The Ute Duke's newborn must be named Alicia. That's when she realized her daughter is the Alicia with the tragic ending in the book. Though they refused the name, an imperial decree forced them to accept it. To preserve Alicia's life, they had no choice but to entrust young her to the relatively safe temple. She thought this would help her escape Xavier, but now she might be harmed by Xavier according to fate. After hearing this, Alicia despairs, meaning no matter what she does, she's destined to die. Her mother grips Alicia's hand tightly, promising she absolutely won't let this happen. She has a way to change everything. At the Grand Duke's estate, Leon says in a low voice for Bernard, who's waiting outside, to enter. Bernard reports he's investigated thoroughly. No signs the princess used security forces, and the Empress and Crown Prince's private assets show no expenditures in 4 years. Leon finds this strange. His mother isn't frugal, yet she never replies to letters asking her to return to the palace. When last contacted, his mother said she had a local disease. If it worsened, there should be news. The silence is very strange. He knows his mother is carefree and didn't think much of it, but with the wedding preparations approaching, he must find her. Bernard respectfully complies. Suddenly, he notices the box beside Leon and asks curiously what it is. Looking closely, he realizes it seems like a ring box. Leon nods in acknowledgement. Leon says he plans to deliver a marriage proposal letter tomorrow, along with the ring. Bernard is utterly shocked. He shouts, reproaching His Highness for making decisions without consultation. Leon ignores him. Bernard continues lamenting how unreasonable he is, but Leon impatiently sends him out. After closing the door, Leon breathes a sigh of relief, finally quiet. He secretly grumbles that Bernard is long-winded. He picks up the ring box and gently caresses it, hoping Alicia will like it. The next day, seeing Alicia arrive, Leon greets her with a smile, noticing her poor complexion. He asks with concern if she didn't sleep well. Then he takes out something, the thing he mentioned yesterday he would give her. He solemnly produces a ring and nervously asks if she accepts. But Alicia shakes her head and apologizes. She cannot accept it. Leon is confused and reassures her this doesn't mean immediate marriage. An engagement is fine too. Alicia says heavily that it seems they cannot be together. Leon notices she's been crying and urgently asks what happened. Alicia shakes her head, telling him not to come anymore. They just aren't meant to be. She stands to leave, but Leon reaches out and grabs her. Alicia struggles frantically, telling Leon to let go. Leon seriously calls her Luna. He hates liars most, and her eyes are swollen. He demands to know what happened, whether she's Alicia or Luna. As long as it's her, that's enough. Leon holds her hand and promises he won't do anything she dislikes, and no matter what it is, he can solve it for her. Alicia's eyes redden, yet she still insists they cannot be together. Leon asks sadly, "They had an agreement. She said she wouldn't run away."